Good morning. Good morning. Are you snapping your fingers at me, George?
Yeah, I was snapping to the beat.
We'll get to you in a second, G. Keep it quiet for now. Welcome to the morning show, guys. We were thinking of maybe going Facebook Live as well, but we said, nah, we'll stick to YouTube alone for now. Welcome to the show, patreon.com/Pan. Tell us if you guys want to subscribe to the Patreon, get some exclusive content. Last night, we recorded the first episode of The Intellectuals. I wanted to get the two greatest minds of a generation together in a room and have them do a podcast. I was unable to get them, so I went for the complete opposite. And that's what The Intellectuals brings you. Two borderline mentally retarded individuals going at it. It was a good time. I don't know when I'm going to post it, but it's going to go to the patrons first. We'll see what people like. PantelsComedy.com for all of my stuff. The Poseidon69 on Twitter and Instagram is currently producing on the board. Phil is busy. He'll be here in a couple minutes. So for the time being, let's go to the news. Mr. George Sadrizos of the Backstage Podcast, also the Just Us Dads podcast, the only podcast out there that has clinically been proven to help you become a better parent. It's Just Us Dads. It's a bunch of dads talking about having kids and how they avoid strangling them on a daily basis. George.
What's going on, guys?
How's it going, buddy?
You didn't mention who the intellectuals were.
Oh, they know. It's Guido Grasso and Poseidon. It's
I can't wait for that one.
well, I had to produce it live last night, and there was some stuff that was, I just couldn't believe they were happening. Like, there was sometimes it was like an out-of-body experience. I saw at one point Poseidon arguing about Robert De Niro, and he called him Robert. He's like, Robert does, as if he knows him. And then Guido corrected him and told him, if you're really his friends actually call him Bob. And then he's like, oh, really? They call him Bob? And he's like, yo, what do you think Bob is short for? And he's looking at him. He's like, Robert? He's like, you think so? It was just like insanity. Like it was just something crazy. So I was like, I don't know if this is going to be watchable, but I'll put it up there. We'll see what people think.
Oh, man. How you guys doing?
We're good. I heard that you're a very good Zoom caller. I heard that you've never had any mishaps on Zoom.
Oh, jeez.
Skype's another story, though. You've been whipping it out repeatedly on Skype. But on Zoom, you've been pretty tame, is what I heard.
Have I?
You saw that guy yesterday, Tubin?
No, I missed it.
Oh, there's a This Just Thing episode up that just went up last night. It's that guy, the legal analyst from CNN. He was on a Zoom meeting for the New Yorker, because also works on the New Yorker. They were doing like some kind of a simulation for the elections. And he basically, they took a 5-minute break. And he's like, that's enough time. And he thought that he was off Zoom. So he just got completely naked and started jacking off.
Oh,
and then people freak. But what's funny is that he had to get fully naked to jerk off. He wasn't like, okay, I only got 5 minutes. Let me just whip it out. He's like, no, I'm going to commit. If I'm going to do this,
gotta get comfortable.
Right. Yeah, he got full naked. And now the picture of his tiny wiener is all over the internet. I feel bad for him in a way. It's just hilarious. So.
That's so horrible.
Yeah.
And this is the guy that works on CNN, and he's on the...
He's a legal analyst. They'll cut to him from time to time to be like, all right, now discussing the law, this guy. And then the guy's like, just freaking out. You guys cut to me too quickly.
Poor guy. Oh, man.
What about our guy? I heard that this is the tweet I saw, and I didn't look into it because I thought you might explain it to me. I saw a tweet that said from what's our friend there, Poliver, what's his name? He said Trudeau is willing to destroy his own government in order to avoid investigation into the WE scandal. And I was like, I wonder what that means.
We're going to talk about that. This is fresh news. I mean, it's happening as we speak now. So
it's only the fresh news that we bring to the morning show. There's a reason why people watch this show, George. Yeah. It's to get
only the fresh
the
stuff.
Freshest cut of garbage news.
We're gonna get to that because it's pretty crazy what's happening. But before we get there, we're gonna talk a lot about things happening in Canada. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what happened in France last week, which is just devastating and disturbing at the same time. Last Friday, some really sad news came out of France where a high school teacher was brutally murdered.
Yeah.
And he was beheaded just in front of the school where he worked in a northwestern suburb of France. It appears that the teacher earlier this month, he was giving a course on political and religious caricatures as part of a civics lesson. And he showed the class the caricatures of the Prophet Muhammad that had appeared in Charlie Hebdo. For those who don't remember, over 5 years ago, basically it's a very popular magazine or paper. And over 5 years ago, there was this mass terrorist attack at their offices where many died because of these provocative caricatures that these guys used to print. So the suspect was an 18-year-old Muslim refugee from Chechnya who was killed by the police on the spot, just a few hundred meters away from the murder scene. So it appears from some reports that the suspect's family may have known or have suspected that this murder was going to happen. Another interesting fact is that this kid's half-sister left to Syria to join ISIS back in 2014. So there seems to be some fishy, stuff happening over there. So for those, perhaps who haven't been following, I mean, France is continuously subjected to local terrorist attacks. Just last month, a Pakistani national living in Paris attacked two men sitting outside and smoking in front of the old offices where Charlie Hebdo actually was. So just some psychotic things, right? And I don't know. I mean, I see these things happening, and I mean, France isn't the only country where you have these terrorist attacks, just nonsensical stuff. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm the only one who doesn't understand how, in some of the biggest democracies and free countries in this world, certain Muslims still don't understand the existence and the meaning of people's rights and freedoms. I don't get it. I mean, what part of, if you would have stayed in your country, you would have probably been dead or persecuted. Do these people not understand? I don't know. I mean, I saw the news come on. It was troubling. I mean, an 18-year-old kid just slicing someone's head off. I mean,
yeah, it's super troubling, G. But we discussed this the other day on a live stream with Poseidon. What would you have done? Like, if there was no signs, right? If you didn't know, what could you have done? Now, I'm saying this for the French government, because if they didn't know that this kid, when he was coming there, he had those intentions, there's nothing they could have done. But leading up to this, there were a lot of signs. There were message boards where the parents were angry and they said that something needs to happen. They were asking for a fatwa to be put on the teacher. So there were signs that someone could have stepped in, but nobody wanted to be offensive, is what they were saying. They go, we don't want to offend them. They seemed really offended, and we thought, like, if we'd go against them, we'd be anti-Islam. But that's crazy, because most Muslim people are like, Jesus Christ, no, you don't cut the heads off fucking teachers.
No,
this is crazy.
Exactly.
So
and look,
the people that they were worried about offended wasn't regular everyday Muslims. They were worried about offending the guy who cut the head off.
Yeah. No, and you're right, because actually a lot of the Muslim leaders in France came out to denounce it. They came out in support of the families,
Of course,
and the entire community. I mean, look, I've worked with a lot of Pakistanis. I've worked with leaders, mosque leaders, and community leaders. This is really not their definition of Islam, and it's sad because it sheds this negative light on this religion, where automatically when you hear of a Muslim, you associate that person to some sort of terrorist or terrorist act, or I mean, your brain automatically goes to that, which sucks,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're in a situation where the line is so fine that we're, like you said, we're afraid to speak out because of potentially hurting someone's feelings or being called a racist or some sort of xenophobe or
I'll
whatever.
tell you something, buddy.
It is.
You have not lived until you've been called a racist for something stupid.
And we're going to talk about that a bit later on because something else is happening here in Canada, which has raised a lot of debate. But
are they trying to get Poseidon canceled again? Guys, he's unemployed and homeless. You can't cancel him.
It's just sad. Anyway, so let's bring this to Ottawa. Let's bring this to Canada because a few things are happening over here. One, it's a busy week in Ottawa, and we're going to talk about what you spoke about before. But before we get to that, there's last week a few MPs had called for an emergency session to discuss a crisis currently underway in Nova Scotia.
Is the crisis the fact that people realize they live in Nova Scotia?
Nova what? Yeah, I bet you guys never thought we'd be talking about Nova Scotia on the show, but yeah, there's something pretty interesting happening in Nova Scotia. Some really crazy stuff going on down there, where the Sipeknekatik First Nation community, also known as the Mi'kmaq, who are they're being targeted in what seems to be scenes, straight out of The Sopranos.
George,
we gotta correct you. We have our fact checker here.
It's Mi'kmaq.
Pronounced Mi'kmaq.
Yeah, Mi'kmaq is the individual. Micmac is the community.
Oh.
That's what happens, motherfucker. You don't try to correct George. George corrects you, bro. This is Soviet Russia.
You may be right though, but I think that when you're talking about the community at large, it's the Micmac, and like if you were First Nations part
Bro,
of the Micmac,
if he was First Nations, he'd be part of the Mi'kmaq and cheese, bro. Don't worry about this guy.
Anyway, so they're being targeted in what seems to be seen as like straight out of The Sopranos. Basically, what's happening is that this First Nation community has set up a self-regulated fishery outside the federally regulated commercial fishing season. We're talking about lobsters over here. So they're doing so while asserting a treaty right that they say allows them to fish when and where they want. Obviously, that has created problems with non-indigenous fishermen who are frustrated, and they've been causing damages, going from simply removing their traps in the waters, all the way to directly threatening them on a couple of occasions.
Wait, are the natives threatening the other people, or the other people threatening the natives?
Other people threaten the natives.
I don't like this at all.
They're removing their lobster traps from the waters, and they even went as far as to burn down their lobster pounds, like to the ground, like nothing exists, right?
Are you asking me to pick a side, George? Because I'm going with the Micmacs. If that's the fucking.
Well, see, look, it's not that you shouldn't, or it's not about picking a side. It's just a matter, again, of political incompetence, and I'll tell you exactly why. Because look, the local indigenous chief is accusing the RCMP for negligence and for not doing more to protect their businesses. Yeah. There have been reports that people have been attacking these businesses and even running after people, threatening them, and the RCMP is just looking at them doing it, not really intervening. So the indigenous chief even went as far as to request from Ottawa that the army be called in. So the government has sent in additional RCMP officers to make sure that the situation is contained. However, what they still haven't said is if whether or not they plan to revise or even to clarify that treaty that the Micmac are referring to, which was part of a series of treaties signed over 250 years ago. We're talking about the 1760s here, right? Like this is a little after the formation of Canada.
Why are you laughing about that?
Well, because
most of these treaties that we have, they're pretty fucking old. Why are they to be ridiculed?
Well, I'll tell you why.
Why do you hate the natives? Is my real question. But go on.
These series of treaties are also called, the peace and friendship treaties, and
that sounds like an amazing treaty. What do you want? The Fast and the Furious treaty, George? Come on.
Basically, it specifies that the Nova Scotia Micmac have the right to earn a moderate livelihood. All right, so
only moderate.
Well,
they're not allowed to excel.
That's where the big question mark comes in, because in 1999 there was a similar conflict, and it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that those treaties are still valid.
Of course.
Okay. The problem, however, is in the definition of the moderate livelihood compared, to the 18th century and today. So, back in the 1760s. A moderate livelihood pretty much meant that, okay, you're going to provide for yourself, your family, and a couple of other members. Now, the moderate livelihood, it's essentially become like this whole business endeavor, right? So this is where the conflict rests. The non-Aboriginal fishermen have called for this self-regulated fishery to close down, and they think that it's illegal. And they also threaten to, they also think that it's a threat to the lobster population, which can threaten significantly, the entire industry. So if these guys are fishing outside the regular, well, if the First Nations are fishing outside the season, depending on the numbers that they're pulling in, what guarantees you that next year there's still going to be any lobster there for the rest of the businessmen?
Here's the thing, George. Who do you assume would know better about nature? These random fishing companies or the people that can paint with all the colors of the wind? I think you're wrong about this. I think if anybody knows about the local population of fish and or crustaceans, it would be the natives.
I don't disagree with you for a second, but I do kind of see the point that the non-indigenous fishermen are bringing up. I mean, look, the last thing everybody wants is for this to cause like another racial and discriminatory event towards the Aboriginals. But at the same time, it's a bit strange that this hasn't even, it has never been looked into to see how it can be further clarified. I mean, for years now, the federal government has been hiding behind this treaty that clearly is that it needs to be clarified. Of course, there's also the controversy between whose jurisdiction does it fall under. Is it the federal jurisdiction or is it the provincial jurisdiction in Nova Scotia that has somewhat of a control over these activities?
Well, but are people willing to go to the negotiating table? So right now, here's my issue: is that the way you described it, and I don't know much about this. The way you described it is, it looks like the First Nations people that live there, which already have been through some shit. They're First Nations people, so we fucked them over repeatedly. They're getting their traps set on fire, their stuff broken. They're getting beat up. So far as you're describing, even though they want to fish out of season, they're the victims of some brutal vandalism and or mob tactics.
Well, it's not only that. I mean, there's a law that allows them to do so, right? I mean, it protects these things. It's just a matter of,
so they're following the law. They're like, hey, man, we're following the law. And then they're getting the shit kicked out of them. And then people are wondering, why are they mad? I'd be fucking pissed off too.
Yeah, look, I mean, nobody's on the ground to see exactly what's happening and what quantities these guys are fishing out. So, I mean, if you were a non-indigenous fisherman making a living out of this, and it's out of season, and you're seeing, the indigenous people bringing in boatloads of lobster, you're thinking, okay, is this moderate livelihood, or is this like washing up completely the produce from our ocean, right? So
can we prove
can
it? Are they killing the lobster population? Poseidon, what do you have?
I'm gonna Google it right now, actually, while you guys are talking.
Yeah, we're gonna find out what's happening with this lobster.
Look, I read an article where there was a study done by the local university over there, and it said that there's been a decrease in number in that specific region where they have set up their fishery, but at the same time, there's been a reduce in number everywhere, all around the island. So they can't. It's not really conclusive, right?
Yeah, but these university students, you can list a bunch of nerds that can't get laid. Come on, dude.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was done by students there, but anyway. So anyway, I mean, I don't know. Look, we'll see how this thing evolves. Obviously, everyone is calling for peaceful resolution. They're calling them to come to the negotiating table, like you said, to avoid more harm being done to the community.
By the way,
we'll see. We'll see.
I found an article. Sorry, George. It says
go ahead.
Inside Canada's decades-long lobster feud. This has been going on for decades. Apparently.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He said this isn't new. I just feel bad for the First Nations people because like they've been through enough, and now imagine you go to work in the morning, like you go to your ship and you see there's a hole in it, or people are setting your stuff on fire. Like that can't be the best way to wake up.
No, definitely not. I mean, they're chasing them down. That article that I read, there was one fisherman that was literally chased down, and he was threatened by these non-indigenous fishermen. They wanted his lobsters.
See what I mean?
The guy ran into his business. He called the RCMP. It took hours for them to come, and then when they came, these guys were breaking shit down, and the RCMP was just there watching, doing nothing. I don't know.
Good old RCMP.
All right, let's move on to the issue that you spoke about. Now, we had spoken about this, referring to Poilevre's comments there on Twitter. We had spoken about this last week. I don't know if you guys remember. I told you about a plan that the federal conservatives had of pressuring the government for the creation of an anti-corruption parliamentary committee.
Yes.
Essentially, the point of that was to take over the investigation of the WE scandal that was pretty much shut down after Justin Trudeau suspended Parliament in the summer, and subsequently the WE scandal hearings that were then underway in the Finance Committee. So also, if you remember, I had said that this was such a significant move by the opposition because the Liberals hold a minority government, and that government can fall at any time that the opposition decides to call a vote of confidence, and that seems to be happening live as we speak right now. It should come down the wire. I mean, in the next hour or so. The question on everyone's mind is if we're really going to go into an election because of a motion to create a committee. I mean, look how nonsensical this thing is. Like, I mean, you have an opposition group that wants to create a subcommittee, and Justin Trudeau is calling them on and saying, listen, if you don't, if you go ahead with this, it means pretty much that you don't have confidence in the government, so we're just going to call an election. But despite that, I mean...
So is Trudeau trying to lose the election so that he steps away?
Well, that's the question. I mean, if that's the case, if you're going to go to an election, how much are the liberals? Not only are they ready, but how much are they hiding from this story? I mean, how desperate are you to keep this information? I mean, what is it that you don't want to come out, right? To the point where you're ready to actually call an election during one of the biggest crises that this country has seen in recent history.
But here's my question: what if, like, they, because they're going for like the Hail Mary pass? They're like, we're going to call an election, we're going to try to get a majority government, and then we'll hide all this. But what if it doesn't pan out? What if they lose the election? Then won't the new government, let's say it's the Conservatives, and let's say they have a majority, which would be crazy, wouldn't they have the power and authority to look into everything, and then really out these guys and put them in jail?
It would be the first thing. It would be the first thing they would do.
Yeah.
I mean, look. Basically, what happened this week, Justin Trudeau pretty much put all. He called all in, right? He put all his chips in the middle, and he announced that he would, that he wouldn't be creating this committee. And obviously, if the opposition parties would all agree, then, like I said before, it would be a clear sign that they no longer have confidence in the government, and an election should be called. Now, the question is, will the opposition parties call the bluff, right? And if they do, are they prepared for an election? And in fact, have the Liberals even thought through the possibility of the opposition calling his bluff? You know what I mean?
I think the Liberals they're thinking, all right, even if they call our bluff, worst case scenario, minority government again, we'll use the help of Jagmeet. But I feel like people are starting to realize that Jagmeet Singh is full of shit, Trudeau's full of shit. So I think this might backfire on them hard.
Well, that's the thing, because how sure are even the Liberals about the preparedness that they have for an election and about scoring a majority, like you said. Now, look, the opposition parties are being very careful in wording it, right? They're saying that they do not want an election because obviously nobody wants to be blamed for causing an election during, like I said, the worst possible crisis in recent times. But that's exactly what Justin Trudeau is doing. He's already throwing the ball in their court. So it's interesting because today almost every leader of the party came out and said, look, the only person that actually threatened with an election is Justin Trudeau. What we're doing is essentially our job. We're elected here to do exactly this, create committees and look at different issues that affect Canadians. So yeah, this is basically what's happening right now. So I don't know. I don't have any other information to give. Basically, preliminary predictions are that both Conservatives and the Bloc Québécois, they will push for a vote of non-confidence. Well, basically, they will support the creation of this committee. The NDP, however, is the party that is holding the key to this. Basically, they're not saying that they're going to support the Liberals necessarily, but if it came to a vote in the House, they would just abstain, right? They would just not show up, which means that without their vote to either create or not create this committee, which by not showing up, it means that they're not voting in favor. They're indirectly supporting the Liberals, right? So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. This is happening right now, actually. So I'm not sure exactly how it's going to evolve. I'm not sure that the NDP wants to go to an election. They're following the polls the same way that Justin Trudeau is. In the last poll, I think that came out yesterday or before yesterday, they lost 5 points, and the Liberals picked that 5 points. So they understand that their vote is most likely going to go to the Liberals if there were another election. So they're afraid. I don't think they want to call an election, these guys. I think the only ones that are pretty much prepared for an election are the Conservatives and the Bloc Québécois. The Bloc Québécois did fantastic in the last federal election. They would probably gain a few more seats in Quebec. The Conservatives just elected a new leader. And, obviously they're ready to go. So I think the NDP might pretty much play the ultimate card here. So we'll wait and see.
Exciting. We are joined by Phil Balabanos in studio now. He has joined us. He was a little busy. He was I'm having trouble breathing, Phil.
What do you mean?
My chest is hurting me. Like, I don't know if I'm anxious. I'm very angry. Or
is it COVID that you said you had?
Or it's COVID. It's probably COVID. It's probably the Rona. Poseidon gave me the Rona.
How did you? Tell me more about this?
I don't know. Just now, it just started happening. Maybe it's because you walked in and you made me anxious. I don't know.
How did I make you anxious?
I don't know.
Came in and sat down.
I'm just saying theoretically. I don't know what the fuck.
Listen, man. I'm the nervous one. You don't give a fuck.
Maybe I'm angry. I don't know.
Are you
I don't know
angry?
what it is. I don't know. Am I angry? I don't know anymore.
Is it
I might be angry. The First Nations
upstairs,
thing. Yeah, it might have been that. It might have been. Well, it hasn't happened during the show.
It has twice.
Oh, we can't hear it.
Because of your headphones. Yeah.
Nice.
But it's still happening.
Oh,
Just
well,
want you to know
maybe that's why. I don't know what the fuck it is. But I'm upset. Last night we recorded The Intellectuals, Phil. First episode of The Intellectuals happened.
Really?
Yeah. It was everything but intellectual.
Okay. All right.
But the entertainment value
Was it
was
live?
ridiculous.
high.
Was it live?
No,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
thinking of when to release it to the patrons. I might do it today. I might do it after this show. Nobody knows what I'm planning because I am a goddamn crazy person. But it might happen after this show.
Maybe that's why you feel a pressure in your chest.
Maybe a pressure in my
Pressure?
chest.
What was that? The pressure?
A pressure in my chest.
He's fucking Sofia
Every time.
Vergara.
Every time I listen to him, I feel a pressure in my chest.
My pressure in my chest. Yo, so he was talking about the federal government and how Trudeau's
Yeah,
trying.
Jagmeet's just being a pussy, scared to call an
Obviously.
election.
No shit, he's a farce, this guy. So he was talking about Trudeau and that. He talked about the First Nations people getting fucked over in a place
Yeah, I was
called
watching.
Nuevo Squacio.
Yeah, in Red Lobster got burned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were burning
the
down
Red
the
Lobster.
lobsters. It was very bad. So G-Funk, what is your prediction? You think we're going to early elections?
Look, this is funny because we spoke about this last time where I was upset that the prediction I made that we were going to go to an election this fall wasn't happening. It seems the tables have turned, and maybe we are, but I don't know.
Why are you laughing, George? None of this is good news.
It's not good news. It's not good news, but it's just, when you're following these things and you're kind of wondering, I wonder if this will happen or that will happen, and it actually happens, it's kind of a tap on the back. It's like, all right.
What
good
George
job.
is saying, ladies and gentlemen, what George is saying right now is, I know better than you, so subscribe to the Backstage podcast. That's what George is saying.
But he doesn't only have the Backstage podcast. He has a podcast called Just Us Dads.
Daddy.
And it's him and a bunch of other daddies, and they talk about daddy-related stuff.
Yeah.
But to
I do
answer
know
you,
that.
Phil, I mean, no, I don't think so. I think the NDP is gonna pull the ace out of their sleeves, and they're gonna save the Liberals' ass again.
if they do, it'll be way better and way more efficient, more on point than Poseidon completely missing the
The
fucking
mark,
cue
yeah, just missing the
to
mark.
bring in the promo
It's too-
music.
it's
I
too-
was
it's too
I was
late.
reading
Don't bring
the
it in
chat.
now.
It's
Sorry,
too late.
I was
Don't bring
reading
it
the
in
chat.
now.
Don't
No
bring it
one
in now.
wants
It's
to
too
watch.
late, Poseidon.
I was just paying
Yeah.
attention to see if everything was working properly. That's
Yeah,
all.
okay.
Listen,
A half
the
hour
poor
into
guy,
the show.
I mean, he's still new at this, man. Give him a break, fuck.
It's
Right, everybody
been-
keeps
it's
saying
been
that,
a
but
while.
he's been a while.
No,
It's been 36 years.
No, it's halfway. No,
Halfway?
halfway.
Halfway
Isn't
what?
it-
What are you asking?
Nothing. Forget.
No.
it.
I need to know.
You're gonna get upset, and
I'm
then I'm
already
gonna get
upset.
upset, and then we're all gonna get mad, and George is gonna be giggling from broadside. Ha ha ha! Montrealers, keep fighting yourselves.
Yeah.
He wants the Montreal Civil War, so he can come here and get our land for cheap.
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like that, eh?
That's exactly the plan. Yeah.
I mean, if you want cheap land, just stay where you are.
Let's move to another troubling
wants
issue
to move
that
in with me?
happened
We're
at,
gonna-
at
we're
the
gonna
University
start a
of
commune.
Ottawa last Friday. I don't know if you guys saw this, but it's created a lot of debate over here, even in Quebec. Basically, the dean of the Faculty of Arts temporarily suspended an arts teacher.
Oh, this is in Ottawa, right?
Say that again.
This is Ottawa.
Yeah, University of
Ottawa.
Okay, I
University
heard
of
something on the
Ottawa,
French radio about
but
this.
it's making waves here in Quebec. Basically,
The
her
vibe.
name Verushka Lieutenant Duval got suspended because
Verushka.
in
I'm
one of
looking
her
into it.
classes on social and cultural misappropriation,
Yeah.
she used the N-word as well as queer as examples of how certain insulting words have been appropriated by the very same people that are concerned
Okay, that's fine.
for history, right? So specifically, her course was on documented events in the 1960s where certain black leaders took the N-word and transformed that racial insult into a strong identity term used
Okay.
during their social demands and their protests. So basically, the students were immediately shocked, and they accused the teacher of racism and invited
Oh
everyone to
my-
alert the dean.
Who are
you know,
these
it's-
stupid students? Look, if she went in and right now, like the question was, why did you drop the N-bomb? She's like, what do you, I don't have time. You think I'm going to call them African Americans? Like, that would be a problem. That would be a huge, but if she's showing, that would be an issue, right? But if she's showing, like, look, these are the words, this is what was used, queer, right? It used to be like a bad word, I guess. And now, look, there's shows that are called Queer Eye for the Straight Guy or Queer this. She's not being racist. She's fucking documenting something.
I'm reading about it while you
These
guys are talking about
students, who I hope one of these students, you can't live in the world. You're a buffoon. If this is how you're reacting, you're a goddamn buffoon. What kind of job are you gonna hold? You can't even work at McDonald's. I like extra large. Are you calling me fat? Like, you can't do anything. You're a fucking idiot. Who
Yeah,
are
no,
these?
no,
stu-
I mean, no, no, look, I mean,
University. You
it's-
belong in
it's
a
serious.
mental hospital.
So listen to this. It says, I cannot even fathom what academic freedom is, because I'm here trying to tell you that using the N-word is already alienating me and not giving me a freedom to exist in these spaces, said Hanan Mohammed, one of the black students. I mean, you're fucking stupid.
Yeah, you're a goddamn
stupid.
idiot. You're a buffoon.
You're studying
No
society and
one's
history.
using the word against you. She's the fact that she just said the word, you know what word it is. She put it in your head. It's already there.
Yeah.
She's not calling you it.
George, it's like saying, let's learn about the Holocaust so we never do it again. And then they're like, well, Jews were killed. They're like, how dare you talk about Jews being killed?
It's crazy.
That's exactly what just happened.
Yeah.
That's
And
what's
I mean,
gonna
look,
wait.
these
5
students,
years
I
from
mean,
now, they're not gonna.
George wasn't ready for this. He's
Five
like,
years from now, George. 5 years from now, they're gonna refuse to talk about World War I, World War II because it makes people sad. They're not, and they're like, "What happened? You can't talk about those are the dark times." Talk about 2019. Skip 2020. Actually, you know what? Don't speak about 2016 to 2020 because Trump was in power. They're gonna just decide what the fuck they can talk about or not because it's gonna hurt people's vagina feelings. Get the fuck out of here, man.
It's incredible, and I mean these students they were
Feeling better?
quick to mobilize,
No, it's just fucking crazy though
no, I
because.
mean, you took off, so I feel like
I
you're
would
feeling
be on your side if some teacher, you're walking in the class and she's like, hey, fucking, and she's yelling racial slurs. Okay, yeah, Jesus Christ, that has nothing to do with the class.
No.
But she's documenting, she's like, this is what they said, this is what's going on. And you're like, oh my God, she used words.
Yeah,
She used
incredible.
words.
It's incredible. And, they immediately got all the campus papers to come on board, and there was this whole movement.
Oh, yeah,
to the
there's a whole
point
movement.
the Dean
Yeah.
felt pressure to just fire her. The problem is that
The whole movement is a bowel movement, bro. That's what this fucking movement is.
I mean, look,
the dean
it
fired
got so
her?
out of hand that the dean suspended the teacher without even meeting her to hear her version of the facts.
Oh, dude, I hope she sues the fuck out of that university.
Just
Canada.
unilaterally like that. Here, you're gone. You know what I mean? Why? Because a couple students, I mean, the paper was talking about it, the campus radio. But
The campus radio.
Look, I mean, it's created a lot of debate. I mean, even at the University
crazy
of
story.
Sherbrooke here in Quebec, and this is where it happened. There was all these teachers that signed an open letter denouncing the suspension and saying
Good.
that this is a direct hit to academic liberties and freedom
Fucking
of
the
speech.
good old Quebecois.
The
The
arguing
teachers
that
are
these
joining
students-
my movement. Good.
They do souviens.
Welcome.
Yeah,
It
you
took
know,
you a
you
while
need
to get here,
teachers,
dummies.
and you need
that you
Quebecers to
accepted.
just stand up for these things, man. And I mean, they're arguing that these terms can be used if done in an appropriate and legitimate manner.
Thank you.
Of course.
And they're also questioning how can academics engage in constructive debate and reflection if they're constantly walking on eggshells and they're afraid to pronounce a word that is deemed unacceptable when all they're attempting to do is to use it in the right context with the intention to create, debate, to educate, and to sensitize the students, right, about a situation that happened like years ago.
In
Even
Concordia.
Legault jumped in on this, huh?
Everyone.
The fucking
I mean,
premier.
the Quebec
I
politicians
mean, the
are on board
Quebecois are the
dumping-
only ones who could
I
speak
will
it.
call them what I want to call them.
I mean, the rest of Canada calls them the N words of Canada. So I mean,
Us?
they
Yeah.
us. That's what they think of us.
But by the way, it's funny because in Concordia, I remember I had an American history teacher who I felt was dropping N-bombs when they weren't super necessary. But I remember the first time she did it because I was like, wait, what? And I looked over, there was two black students, and they didn't seem to mind. So I was like, well, then I can't care either. But then every time I'd be like, that was a little hard. She didn't need to go that hard on the second R. Like that was, but nobody cared. So I was like, all right, it's just like, go for it. And her, it was a little, she could have avoided it. You know what I mean? She was just reading some that like
Hard
open
Rs,
letters. Yeah, that they were letters from the time.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
This is
But
They
also,
were levers from the time.
I wish I could have been a fly on that wall.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that at the time, even I looked around, I was like, all right, well, nobody has a problem with this. She's reading, and even me, I was
So
like,
she's reading like American historical text.
yeah,
like,
exactly. She's reading
okay.
letters that people wrote, and
like,
they had
Biggie,
their
Biggie, can't you see?
exactly. No,
Sometimes
yeah.
your words.
So it made sense in that context, even though it was hilarious because she was dropping like,
Attaboy.
she was dropping hard R's. It was kind of I was like,
Jesus.
Jesus Christ. But then I was like, okay, well, it makes sense in this context. And the black students are like, yeah, I don't fucking, So I'm not gonna say anything. But now
because
this
it
is
makes sense, man. I
this
mean,
is
it's an
even
action.
less offensive
No, it's
than
not offensive at all.
at all. This is even less of a thing than what my history, because this is literally discussing, we're gonna talk about X word and talk about, the etymology of it and how it morphed into something else right now. Like, you have to address, it's like saying, I want a vaccine for COVID, but don't use the actual virus strand now. Figure it out. It's like, well, no, we have to use that in order to get to the vaccine. No, that's fucking crazy, bro. The virus is scary because you need the virus to make the vaccine. That's how it works.
I'm sorry. I stopped listening. I got deep into the chat.
Oh.
I'm like, what are they talking about?
What happened?
Nothing. Just going on. They're just being crazy.
Is it race related?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, look, another main issue.
Completely spaced out. Sorry, guys.
Another issue that it's created is that by condemning this teacher's actions, the university is in some way unilaterally banning the
Censorship.
word from being used in a class setting. So yeah, in a press release that was sent out, the dean said, and I quote, "This language was offensive, and it's totally unacceptable to use it in our classrooms as well as on our campus. Everyone at the University of Ottawa has the right to an environment free of discrimination
But she
and
didn't
harassment,
discriminate.
and the rights to be treated with dignity and respect." So
She
I mean,
didn't discriminate.
I really thought when you said, I quote, that you were going to drop an N-bomb.
no, yeah. So I mean, it's opening a
I
whole
quote,
other can of
"Be
worms
tripping."
where academics now. What do you say? I
it's
missed
fine.
it.
Don't worry. We're just talking about your hairline. What?
I didn't say anything about your hair.
No, George texted me the other day. He's like, bro, how do you shave your head? I was like, why? He goes, I've been thinking about it, but he still hasn't done it. He's a
Don't
fucking-
shave your head, George.
Do it,
You're gonna
George.
look-
I bought the apparatus, and it's
Oh,
been sitting
shit.
in the drawer for like 2 months. Or
That's an
something, or 2
exclusive, guys.
Oh,
Exclusive
no, I
on
don't want him to
Patreon
shave
only.
his head.
He's gonna shave his head live.
First, grow a full beard though, like a full beard.
Have you ever seen George with a beard? He has Greek Revolutionary mustache. It curves on the side.
that's
It's
good,
crazy.
Yeah,
yeah.
do that
yeah.
and then shave your head.
He
You're
looks
gonna
like
look
fucking Colocotroni.
You're gonna look like a badass.
Yeah, maybe that if you have but don't look like an egg. Don't just shave your head and leave it up. So yeah.
Were you here for that last week? No, huh?
So like, there's gonna be
The
more
kids?
balds. There's gonna no, he wasn't here.
No,
There's
he
gonna be
wasn't.
more balds than long hairs in the
Yes.
clique.
Only balls. No
I don't like that. I
two
don't
and
like
two.
that.
Yeah, but we can raise some funds, man. I wouldn't mind doing it live if you
Shave
can.
for a cause.
What's the cause?
I don't know. You guys figure it out.
Okay,
but-
we let
George
teachers,
is like, fuck you. I have a script. I want to
we,
keep going.
we let teachers drop the N-bomb no matter what the circumstance.
I'm in.
No, but this is serious because after
Yeah.
just to get back to the story and to finish, basically after that statement made by the dean, people are up at arms. I mean, they're denouncing this decision as censorship, and
is.
it has brought to the forefront many black academics and other
Black
prominent
academics,
people in the
George.
black community
Black academics.
who actually agree with these terms and that they can be used. And they're not offensive, basically, if they're put in the right context, right? I mean, Phil mentioned, well, I'm not. François Legault isn't a member of the black community, but he's the premier.
what,
Isn't he,
he's not?
though?
He's not?
You have Dominique Anglade,
Frank
who's the leader of
Legault.
the Liberal Party, who she's a Haitian woman, and she came out and said, "Look, this is fucking ridiculous, man. We cannot always get offended by these things, right?"
Yeah.
And this isn't the first time that we see people getting fired for saying the N-word. I mean, there's been other teachers and even journalists that have lost their jobs because of this, and there seems to be a wave of different professionals who are now standing up and saying that enough is enough. Their argument basically rests on the idea that if we're going to promote and bring to the light the current racist environment that we live in, we need to honor and remember the past, and by doing so,
No,
it's
that's not. You
possible
know what,
not to
George?
use
No.
these terms.
No, fuck that. We never talk about these things. It's the best way forward.
No, you have to address because what's happening
Obviously.
now. Was a joke? That was a joke. All
Oh,
right.
it's either the joke or he hit his head on the way in here.
Yeah.
George-
No, but I mean,
George is
usage
like,
of
that
these
was
terms-
joke. I will continue discourse now. Yes, this was funny. Ha.
But I mean, look, look, you can do it, I think, and using these terms, as long as it isn't done in an offensive, discriminatory, or hurtful way. So these are the arguments, and I kind of agree. I mean, look, we're really, I don't know, we took a left turn somewhere, and I'm not
hard
really not
left.
sure where we're
Yeah.
fucking shit. Yeah, I really don't know where we're going, but
To the point where when I heard it in the French media, the way they were describing it, I had misunderstood and I thought that there was a university teacher just ripping the students, just dropping
fucking
N-bombs,
you.
and because I was like, oh fuck, that's
You
kinda-
get sold in slavery. And
It-
you get
it's-
sold
it's a
in
little-
slavery.
It's a little hilarious that university teachers just ripping on these kids racially. You know what I mean? And then I started to listen a bit more, and then you guys explained. Now I was like, wait, what the fuck? That's not at all what they made
No,
it sound
I-
like.
It doesn't
Why?
make sense.
Yeah, why did they suspend her? That's not. And she literally is. It's a she, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Good.
Is she a?
So again,
is
now
she a
hold
visible
on.
minority, George?
So now hold on, George. A strong,
sure.
independent woman that's trying to teach a good class, we're gonna take her down.
Fucking
When will the sexism end?
fight the patriarchy.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like what the patriarchy is doing to that woman.
Verushka.
No, but you have some of these student leaders now that came up, and I saw this today. Basically, they're calling for a re-education of the teachers. What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Wait. Did you say re-education?
The students, because they're idiots. Look, listen, this isn't going to work. We're a bunch of morons. You got to train them to also be morons, or this isn't going to work.
So
know?
she's not a
Like, no,
visible
but-
minority, by
but-
the way, George.
She's not, eh?
She's whiter than him.
Why you pointing at me?
Because
I'm a
she's
Greekster.
way fair skin, more fair skin
Oh,
than
look
you.
at her. She's smiling.
She's
That
like-
smile's gone.
That's fine.
No, but can you imagine? I mean, we're in a situation where you have a bunch of little 18, 19, 20-year-olds.
That's
offensive. No, but they're so like ingrained in their whatever ideology.
What ideology? They're 18. They don't know shit.
Yeah, they
Exactly.
really.
I
but
remember
you
being
understand-
18. When I was 18, I didn't know shit. I thought I knew shit, but I didn't know anything.
Bro, at
Yeah,
18,
but
the only
I don't know,
ideology.
is this the new form of rebellion now? I mean, we're pressuring to send these teachers back to school.
George,
Send
do you
them-
remember, by the way, that whole thing about re-educating the teachers? Like, does that, no one hears the fucking Soviet and Nazi?
Yeah, it's complete.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Start the
complete
re-education
leftist
process.
psycho shit.
It's crazy.
But you know
That's
what's
fucking
crazy?
nuts.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
Um,
you can.
The people behind this giant movement, and they're trying to destroy like the North American way of life, and they're trying to make it super hardcore left that's never existed before. This political correctness. They're doing it the right way. You know why? Because the fact that they use social media to the point where all these young people, their idea of acceptance and worth is based on people liking their stuff. Mm-hmm. And now they've made it,
Self-worth.
if you want to get likes, you have to virtue signal. You have to be like, no, we're against this evil stuff that aren't always evil, right? So now they've made it to a point where it's shit, man. We don't have to re-educate these kids. They're going to do it themselves. They're going to police themselves to get likes. They're going to rat out their neighbors to get likes. You know what I mean? So they're going to destroy themselves. This is like it's already in motion. The engine's already turning. These fucking idiots think they're creating some kind of utopia. It's a utopia for psychopaths.
I mean, you'd think no one would be exempt from the pressure of this, and sometimes this pressure can do good things, right? I mean, same-sex marriages.
No, that happened before. That had nothing to do with this.
Not everywhere though,
Yeah.
but there's certain establishments that have fought this like progression. Let's call it,
Yeah.
because now we're at extreme progression. It's gone too far to some extent.
Now it's a regression.
The Vatican just called for same-sex laws.
Yeah, I
It
just saw that now. I was
popped up.
actually going to comment on it. Yeah.
Homosexuals have a right to be part of the family,
That's
just
the
not our family. Well, that's not the same. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing, bro.
I didn't read the last 5 like words. I'm like, is that what it fucking said? Fucking Pope Francis like, yes, we want them to be in the family, but not in that.
Not
Not
family.
here. Go to her.
How
house.
funny would it be?
What
He's
does
like,
that
he's like, I
accent
love
I just did?
everyone, no homo. Like,
No. No homo.
no, yeah. Well, it's about time. You know, what?
Boppity-boopy.
I think you get to a certain age, you get old.
That's a
What'd you
huge
say,
step
George?
forward for the Catholic Church, though. I mean,
That's it's a massive step.
Yeah, well,
forward.
I don't-
It
I don't-
reminds me of Dogma. Remember Dogma? They have Buddy Christ.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't think we can get to Buddy Christ, but I think at some point you get
Eventually.
old enough where even so, you know, there's 2 kinds of old people, like the super frustrated, racist, what like they're like
Those are
trapped in
those
a
are
time.
my favorite
My
types
father.
of old people.
Your dad's not old enough yet. Wait, your dad's gonna get
Oh,
worse.
no, but he's
He's there. He's
God.
almost
My
there.
dad's on the precipice of being a cranky old man. He's not there yet.
But
though.
there's old people who they get cranked, but I mean they've lived so much that then they look and like, you know what? Let people live. Like they're like, why would I? Like this is gonna end. We're all gonna die. Let people live. You know what I mean? Like
But they
stop
used to be like
bothering people.
hardcore before.
Some
Like
were,
George's
some
dad.
weren't.
George's dad is legend in my book. The
Why?
man is
What?
legend.
He softened up.
He's stoic. He's like he has like a strict ideology for his life that he adheres to. You can tell just from like simple conversations with him. And he's a man's man. He can build things. Not like George. George flip flops.
George couldn't get his
No,
headphones.
your
to
dad.
work.
How is your dad? Is your dad good?
He's doing good.
All right,
Speaking
good.
of,
That's all I
your
wanna know.
dad
Yeah,
being
dude, you
on
know,
the
I think you
borderline
get old
of,
enough. I think that, George, I think that's what happened with the Pope. I think you get old enough where you're like, let people live. Like, why am I bothered? You know what I mean? Because we're all gonna. People
don't
act like
think
we're
the
gonna live
Pope-
forever. You're gonna die. You know
We're all
that,
gonna
right?
die.
And if you don't watch yourself, you're gonna die a lot sooner than you should, Phil.
I mean,
it's
but-
not a threat, is it?
But he's much more progressive than other popes, right? I mean, I think from the very beginning he came out in favor of contraceptives and.
There are too many people on the earth.
Yeah, he met a bunch of like dummies now, like these fucking woke people. He's like, no, this has to stop.
And for the first time,
Contraception is the work of God. Say
But
that,
for the
George.
first time, he's also denouncing the actions in their own church around pedophilia and all these.
I mean,
crazy
that doesn't
But
make him
the w-
progressive. That
yeah,
just makes him the guy who had to fucking do it.
No,
But the words
no,
he
exactly.
used-
I mean,
The words he used to denounce pedophilia was kind of like, it was weird. When he's like, okay, the party's over, the fun must stop. And we're like, wait, what? Don't call it that. No, God.
The pizza party.
The fun must stop. These boys, no more get in their hole. No more. And he's like, Jesus, dude, speak in Italian because this English stuff isn't working out for you.
He's Argentinian, actually.
Oh, he is Argentinian, huh?
Is he?
Yeah.
Look at this fucking guy. Like, kill the
Drop
joke.
in
with fucking-
knowledge.
Look at this guy.
Fucking just to kill the mood.
It just takes a joke and
Hey,
makes
George,
it
thanks for
serious.
coming in today.
So George, what's gonna happen with this?
Yeah, man. Fucking Poseidon tried to before also.
What'd he do?
How anytime somebody drops a fact, it ruins the whole show. How is
That's fair.
well, Poseidon actually tried to drop a fact, but it wasn't true. That's why it ruined the show.
It was only halfway, bro.
When did I try to drop a fact?
But you remember earlier with the macaque?
The what now?
What the fuck are they called?
The Mi'kmaq.
The macaque.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about monkeys, the macaque.
Oh, imagine that. He's like, guys, let's talk about the zoo. I haven't been to the zoo in years. Giraffes. So George, is there anything that we can do for this professor and or teacher, whatever the fuck she is?
I don't know.
You have her information?
I do. I found it here when I was looking for her.
You have her number?
Found
What do
her
you have?
LinkedIn.
Email? What do we got?
Probably
LinkedIn.
get it. I mean, who
wanna
knows
threat-
what
you wanna
state this
threaten
poor
her?
lady
What
is
are
in
we
right
doing?
now.
Can we reach out to her for maybe she wants to come on the morning show on Friday, talk to us?
I'm reaching out right now.
Yeah, thank you. It would be nice.
Are you messaging her? Yeah, you
I'm
found
Yeah,
her.
he's
finding her
sent-
on LinkedIn. Hold on.
He's sending her a message on LinkedIn.
It's the least creepy of all the random DM sites. I mean, not always, I guess. Ask some.
Poseidon, try to get her on Tinder, see what happens.
So I just.
I deleted my Tinder account.
God damn it.
Really?
But-
Wow, that's a big step forward.
Well, he's on Grindr, so don't worry.
I go like, you know what? I don't need this. Delete it, and then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, fuck.
I really need this.
I'm horny.
I'm sure
This is the
I'm sure
generation
because
that
she's-
wants teachers re-educated.
What? I don't want teachers
It's
re-educated.
your generation.
Yeah,
George,
well,
you ever worry about your kids when you see this shit?
Yeah.
Honestly, what do you worry that they'll have a hard time living in this world, or they'll be part of the problem?
Yeah, exactly.
That's my
Both,
fear.
Actually.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't want my kids to be associated to this fucking nonsense, man. And like, and it's not only that; it's that I think our generation is going to have that problem where, in terms of educating your kids, it's so much different from what it's been all the way up until now, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I try to make sure she understands that, because you know how like okay, this is a bad example because I didn't live it firsthand. Like my parents aren't that old. I didn't have the man up kind of dad, you know, like, man up, don't be a pussy. Like my dad wasn't like that. But I know a lot of kids were like, hey, your emotions don't matter. Mom says go or whatever, right? So like,
Mom says go.
mom says you do this, you fucking do that. So like, I want them to know that hey, it's okay to be fucking sad, to be angry. Like I try to teach them, well, the older one, the baby's a baby, to like process her emotions.
Yeah.
But kids are crazy. Like she can't process shit. And I worry that is that like a character flaw? Or is that just because she's a kid? I don't fucking know.
Here's the thing.
Tell me the thing.
No matter what you do, G, it's not going to help the grand scheme of things because this is a generational issue, right? So that means that we're going to
Easy
go
there,
through.
Nietzsche. Nothing we can do can change anything.
No. I'm saying it can't be changed just by George. It's going to have to be changed the generation right after because they're going to basically grow up. They're going to inherit the world. They're going to destroy it as they're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
And then the next
Or
generation,
save it.
their kids are going to be like, you fucking idiots. What did you do? They're going to look at videos. This is how the world was before? People were walking around free. They were saying what they wanted. People could apply for any job. It was a good time. And then you narrowed it down. What the fuck are you doing? You know, so that's what's going to happen.
You ever stop to think that maybe we're the old guys now? Like we're just we're off base. Like we're out of touch. And
No, I'm right in the pocket. I'm in that age right now. I'm
you
right
should
in the
govern.
pocket. Huh?
where you should govern.
I should, but I'm too lazy to govern.
That's fair.
But I'm right in that pocket. I have my finger on the pulse, and I could see the older people where they fucked up and what they did right, and the younger people where they're right and where they fucked up. But I won't be here for long. What, 5 years, 6? Then I'm gonna shift category. They're gonna shift up. Everything changes.
I thought you meant you were going to off yourself. I was like, where's this going?
Oh no, I mean you're not in the pocket for too long, right?
Oh, okay. The pussy
Yeah.
pocket.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm just
I'll be
curious to
in
see
that
where
in a
you're gonna
while,
shift.
so-
Hey. What, George?
I'm just curious to see where he's gonna, what category you're gonna be shifting to.
The 1%.
Me?
Yeah, fucking.
Well, I'm gonna
money,
be.
no
I mean, the
problems
category.
over
I'm gonna
here.
be older, so then my opinion won't matter.
That's fair. Yeah, get off my lawn, you fucking kids.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
Shut up, old man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, raising kids today is definitely a challenge.
Whoa, whoa,
honestly.
whoa, whoa! This isn't just us dads. We're not going back to that.
Just
No,
as
no, we're not going back to
dads.
that. But,
You know,
you
George
brought
has
it
a
up with your kids.
podcast called Just Us Dads.
Just as dads. We're a bunch of
Where
daddies
him and
get
his,
together.
Him and his daddies talk about daddy issues.
Yeah.
Wait, whoa, that's not what I meant.
Every episode starts with, oh, okay, guys, we're recording. Just as dads, available wherever podcasts are sold.
Except they're
The
free.
Backstage Podcast, George Tadrizos interviews unsuspecting politicians. Backstage Podcast. Patreon.com/Pantelis for more of this nonsense. Uncensored.
High concept dumpster fire.
Yes, yes. The more patrons we get, the crazier stuff that we will do. And by crazy, I just mean really ambitious. We got a lot of projects in the pipeline. We got shows we want to do, actual shows, series, web series. Web Cyrus? Web Cyrus.
Web SARS.
Webisodes. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, this is chill music.
There's a new episode of This Just Thing online right now.
Right now, it came out a few hours ago.
Hours.
It's about Jeffrey Toobin.
Tubin.
Who was tubing his tube. He was tubing.
It was the Zoom tube.
Yeah, it was a Zoom tube. Zooming tubing. All right, back to George in the news.
Yeah, I'm just following the Twitter feed, and
Yeah, I was too before.
It's crazy on this University
on
of
the
Ottawa
university thing. There's a Twitter. The university Twitter is up in arms.
I mean, look,
Twitter.
what they're doing now, the media is bringing out all these, like I told you before, all these, black prominent people talking in favor of these terms being used, and it's
I don't know why I'm laughing. It's just the way you said prominent black people. You enunciated every consonant very, very intensely.
Prominent blacks.
The prominent black.
It's like, George, that doesn't sound right. No, it does.
No, that tracks generationally.
Yeah. They prefer to be called the blacks. Nobody prefers to be called the blacks, George.
Look, all I know is on my end is I'm just ready to fight the communists.
Good. They're the
That's
ones
it.
causing the problems.
Okay, bro.
That's it. That's all
Sure.
I'm ready for.
You know what it is? People love to label things because it's so much easier to name something that you can say, now, this is our enemy, this is what we're fighting.
Yeah. Look, labels, even though people are pretending like labels are evil, labels are good. Would you go to the grocery store and everything is just masked and you don't know what you're getting? You need labels, guys. You need to know what you're getting. Am I right, Poseidon?
Yes, unless you start seeing a girl, then you don't label it.
What?
What?
Talking about? He tried to go
What
somewhere.
was that single guy?
He tried to go somewhere, but his brain wasn't ready.
Yeah.
He went there. His brain did not follow.
Yeah, his mouth is like, I got this. His brain was like, no, we don't.
I thought I had a joke, but
And then it just let something out.
yeah. And then my brain went like, yeah.
I feel bad. Imagine being his brain.
On some other shit.
Imagine
now.
being his brain, being like, what is this? Am I high? What is going on? Why?
Brain's got to poop.
Why is the world like
Still.
this?
Man, I'm convinced I have some kind of
You're on the spectrum, buddy.
damage. No.
Oh, damage?
Yeah.
Like emotional?
Bro, like I've
Oh,
realized. No.
Tell me,
not
bro.
psychological, like probably from physical.
Oh, you mean like brain damage?
It was
not
sexual abuse.
brain
this child.
damage. No, it wasn't. But
Yeah.
you know what I've noticed, bro? Like I'm kind of burnt.
We hear you and we
Oh, stop
accept you. You are kind of burnt, buddy. George, anything else you want to talk about from the Twitterverse?
remember
George's already laughing.
this is a long time ago. I can't remember if it was a cartoon or if it was, but I think it was a cartoon where it was people inside a person's brain. Like basically, you're controlled by like 2-3 people in your brain that are kind of driving you around.
yeah.
Are you talking about Inside Out?
I'm not sure. It was that
It
a
was a
cartoon?
Pixar. It was a Pixar movie.
Oh, I know what you're
Good
talking
movie.
about. Yeah.
I remember, but basically, it's like we are controlled by like people, kind of like as like you're driving a car, but it's like you're driving the human, right? And like you're making the decision.
His 3 people are all inbred.
That's what I was. The minute you said about imagine how his brain works, I just went to that. I'm like, imagine those 3 little people kind of managing.
You know
Poseidon.
who's managing Poseidon's brain? You ever seen the movie The Hills Have Eyes?
I was about to say
The
that.
people in the hills, bro.
I was about to say that.
How funny is
Except
that?
these ones have no eyes.
So G Funk, any other news you bring to the table?
Hey, are you sticking around for the whole show or What's the plan?
Sure. I'm available.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't know his schedule anymore, dude. It's very difficult.
This guy.
No, it's very simple. Wednesdays I'm good. Fridays I'm not.
Fridays
okay.
he's busy doing captain of. That is very simple, actually. Captain of industry type things.
He is a captain of his industry.
He is a captain of industry. I mean, that's
He-
why he got into
his
politics.
industry
so
is
he could
Skyping
grease the
into
fucking
podcasts.
wheels.
Yeah, I'm professional.
Except the whole Skyping in part, you have a hard time with. It always takes
yeah,
like 6
his-
tries.
Oh, his headphones today was the funniest
this
thing.
was-
I
this
can't
was the
hear
first
you.
time
I
I had
can't
an
hear
issue.
you. I can't hear you. I was like, Jesus, fuck, bro.
It's like this. Guys, oh wow, the drilling's really going, huh? I
I,
heard it now that I took off my
it
headphones.
just started right now. As soon as you
George
took
is
off
like,
your
guys, I can't hear you. Put on your headphones,
like-
George. What? Put on your head. What? I can't hear you.
You know what I love is that I looked
Imagine
over
I'm
at
like, "No,
Poseidon
I can't hear the drilling.
and
What
he,
drilling?
he took off his headphones like a fucking dummy.
Yeah, I don't know why he took
Like
off. His
a-
oh, you were listening. He was listening for the drilling.
It doesn't matter if you can't pick it up in the mic. It doesn't matter right now. But anyways, I'm.
No,
I'm
you're
just
right.
curious.
It doesn't matter to the production value of the show, but
Yeah.
it matters to me because we have an agreement with these.
Don't you
people.
worry. I have we have stuff in the works.
Canadian Donovan.
Canadian
How is that
Ray Donovan.
Still unresolved, man. I don't understand.
Oh
I mean,
well,
Well-
we got them a lawyer's letter last week, and we've my guy's on the case. My fixer is fixing the case.
I love when we barge in there because I'm the littlest of all of us. Like they're all giant human beings, especially what's his face. So we walk in and there's a little cowering Hebraic fellow in the corner going, guys, hey.
Yeah, it's like,
Hey, how
what
are
is
you?"
happening? We'll deal with that later. Let me tell you what's happening.
Fucking doors start closing in the office. All the guys with the same first name start hiding.
They do all have the same first
It's
name.
fucking weird. I mean, unless they were purchased and not hired.
Oh, this is a nice conspiracy.
This is a good conspiracy.
I could get behind this.
I think so.
Yo, so there was George.
Yeah.
There was news stories yesterday that you didn't mention, but we mentioned on this just thing, like the guy who jerked off during the Zoom meeting, and then people are trying to make excuses for him online. Like the guy didn't even make an excuse. The guy's like, all right,
I found something out about that story afterwards.
go on.
So we didn't talk about it on. No. Do you know that he came back from his session, continued the Zoom call, and no one said anything until after?
Oh no!
I feel so bad for him.
No
one said anything.
I
He
feel
was just like,
terrible.
All right. Yeah, I'm back for the panel.
How do you continue the meeting when you all just saw the guy come? Like, how do you? Those people are animals.
I
Wait,
mean,
you said that they went on break, right?
it's
No.
five.
They took 5, but take 5 doesn't. They're not in a real office. They're at home. So take
So
5 just meant they put.
they were still sitting in front of their computer.
Yeah, they were watching him.
I mean, look. I feel so bad for this guy. But at the same
Or-
time, what an idiot.
Yeah.
It's where technology meets age.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like fuck.
I don't know
man.
this guy. Is he older? Is he?
I didn't know who he was either.
40s,
He's
50s.
probably in his
Where is he?
60s, I would guess. Based on his
60s?
penis, he's 9 months old.
I felt bad for that.
Yeah, he has
Yeah,
a
that
little
was,
dick.
yeah.
I feel bad even saying that. I shouldn't have seen that
Yeah,
dick
that's a
ever.
baby penis.
I told my wife the story, and she went down the rabbit hole looking into what happened. She's like, they went back to the meeting. I'm like, stop.
I had
that's
no
not
idea they
real.
went back to the meeting.
They went back to the fucking meeting.
That's
Which
horrible.
begs the question: if you're not going to say anything to him, why did this even come out? If it didn't interrupt a live feed, why didn't you just say fucking Jeffrey just jerking off and no one knew?
No, everyone, because they all
I know.
saw him and then they were messaging each other like, oh my God, he's jacking it. Except for the one guy who had his camera off. He's like, I had the sense to turn mine off when I was watching you jack off, you weirdo.
The
Like, what?
the fucking the multi-grid, where you see everyone from the call and he's up in the corner
Oh,
there.
yeah, that's just a joke, yeah.
Oh, that's not real.
No, that's just a humorous meme.
I fucking put it in the show. I thought it was
Oh, that's a
from the
meme.
real. It's a mem?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a mem, bro.
Somebody calls it mem.
Yeah. Fucking.
I don't know
you
why,
who.
but I just got very angry
Why?
because I heard the word mem.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what's his name?
He's very, because he doesn't like
It's old Greek
mem sex
restaurateur.
marriages. He's very against it.
yeah. J'aime pas les mêmes sex marriage. C'est pas
Fucking
bon
guy.
ça?
He's living in 1901.
You know what? I never knew how it was pronounced. Is it a GIF or a GIF?
GIF.
I mean,
GIF?
actually, there is some conversation. It's
There's not.
unclear.
The guy who invented it says it's a GIF,
a
and also
Giphy.
yeah, and also it's GIF, like the peanut butter is a J.
That's a J,
It's a
yeah.
GIF.
I mean, but in English, if you put a G in front of an I, it's a G sound.
G.
Like give.
No, like a giraffe.
Oh.
Yeah,
Why is the G in giraffe like a J? Is it because of the double
that's
F?
just the English language.
Fucking
No,
English
'cause
is dumb, isn't it dumb?
Okay, new theory.
Well,
Oh, boy.
Pacific.
New theory.
Every C in Pacific is pronounced differently.
I mean, no. Pacific, the first C is between two vowels. That's why it's an S.
That's not,
But that is
that's
a
not, That's
rule.
not, no, but that's not what I'm arguing. I'm saying every C in Pacific
There's two.
is pronounced differently.
Yeah, one is at the end and one
Yeah.
is followed and preceded by a vowel. That is a law of the English language.
Yeah.
Giraffe,
But that's
there's
what
no
I'm
law that explains why giraffe is, unless there is.
Well, it's just how we pronounce it, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Look
Is they're
at-
pronounced
no, look
differently.
into
It's
it.
not. It's not a new thing.
New
Or chat,
theory.
look into it. New theory. Go ahead, Poseidon.
What if the G in GIF is silent?
Zion,
What if?
pack up your bags
What
and get
if?
the fuck out of here.
What is that? What's happening, man?
So wait, what are you saying it is? GIF or GIF?
It's GIF.
Because the arsonist is saying the guy who invented it says it's pronounced GIF.
It's a GIF. He's the guy who invented it. Said it's a GIF.
I say GIF.
It is a GIF.
But
I say
Sometimes
GIF,
I confuse myself
bro.
and I say
GIF is a
Look.
peanut butter.
it's a delicious peanut butter, by the way. I say I'm not sure what I say. It's a GIF. I think I say both.
You say GIF? What are you fucked?
I also say gyro because it amuses me instead of pronouncing it properly.
It's a GIF. I get very angry about the GIF versus GIF.
I don't know. I don't really care either way.
Same thing with meme. It's meme. I don't. Mem is if there was a fucking accent hat on it and it was in French. It's meme.
Or there was no
accent hat.
E at the end, right? Mem.
yeah,
an
exactly.
accent. A Circorn flakes.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you know that meme? I just looked this up. Is Greek?
Well, meme comes from it's not Greek. Meme what's that fucking guy? He wrote a book about the memes.
No, I mean
our-
the etymology of the word.
Oh, that's where he gets it from. Yeah, but
I did not know
meme,
that.
the way we use meme,
Yeah.
is from a guy who wrote a book about like what was it? Fucking what we take like information from generation to generation. He had he's the one who coined the word meme. Was it Who the fuck? Dawkins? Who the fuck coined the word
Dawkins,
meme?
yeah.
It was Dawkins, eh?
Evolutionary biologist Richard Dawkins.
Yeah.
He worked the selfish gene.
Yeah, he coined meme, and then we started using it later. Meme was used in Metal Gear Solid 2. Yeah, because
What did it mean?
basically the same thing, just not for stupid shit.
Something which is imitated.
Because basically what happens is your genes, there's stuff that you transmit from your genes that your genes want to.
Like when you get home, you take your wallet, you transmit it out of your genes, you take your fucking change. But
There's some stuff that your genes wants to give to the next generation, the baby that you're having. There's stuff that you transmit whether you like it or not. Okay, whether it's a habit it finds important or something that you're gonna stuff that you don't transmit is things like culture. Culture you have to teach the kid.
yeah.
But there's stuff that's in your genes. That's hear that. That's hardwired. That you have no choice. Your genes are gonna choose it themselves. They're gonna be like, no, this carries on. You know, so it's very cool stuff like that. So Metal Gear Solid 2 is talking about that. How culture is the thing you have to teach, and the rest is things that you. So then they were saying, if your genes, here was the argument in Metal Gear 2, and why fanatics might wanna like change the way history is written. Because it was basically, they were not trying to control, what was it? They were not trying to control context, but control content. Yeah, that's what they were trying to do. So they were trying to dominate the content you get, kind of like what the internet is doing now, like with the government, like federal government is trying to...
So selective breeding to some extent. In the
Selective
Metal
breeding
Gear
in information. They were
Yeah.
talking about information. But the way your genes work, Poseidon, is some people think, some hardcore like evolutionists and all that, they think, well, if your genes are clearly giving information to the next generation that they didn't have before, so clearly there's stuff it finds important enough to send over, so then a kid grows up and just has a certain habit, a mannerism, something that it helps it live. Well, the stuff that it doesn't find worthy of transmitting, why are we keeping it? You get it? And one of those things that comes up is culture, where for me, I'm the opposite. I believe culture is so important that
But
you should teach
culture
it.
can't be transferred genetically. That doesn't
That's what
make
we're saying.
sense. Yeah. So
That's what we're
why?
saying. So they're saying
Oh,
is,
I understand. Okay.
it has no bearing on your sustainability on the planet.
That's
and,
like looking at society, like humanity in a vacuum. Like segregate. You can't segregate every bit.
Well, that's what they do.
It's parts of a whole, right?
yeah, but that's what they do.
No, yeah, that makes
But
sense.
anyways,
It
I
doesn't make sense. I mean, I understand
Yeah.
what you're saying.
yeah. Well, I'm not the one who invented it. I'm just telling you what they think. So me personally, I find culture super important. I find that's
I
what
mean, it's
kind
the
of
most-
separates
I was
us.
actually watching one of
The
the
aminals.
I was on Disney Plus last night because it has Nat Geo. And I
Yeah.
was watching some. Actually, I had never seen it on there. It must be new because it had like really funky font. I was like, how did I never notice? It was called The Greeks. It was just like about Greek history. It is the most. I've never seen a Nat Geo or any of these channels, like the ones that do documentaries, History Channel or whatever, A&D, be so excited to talk about Greece.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the most. It almost feels like a Greek-sponsored propaganda film. Like,
was it good?
they're like, without them, we are nothing. That's how it starts. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Well, you know what, man? You're not wrong.
Is that the one with
It's from 2016.
the archaeologist in Egypt?
Oh, the
that
British
is,
lady.
no, this is Greek archaeologist in Egypt. Apparently, who
Malakazi.
thinks she has found the tomb of Alexander the Great.
No, no.
Everybody's been claiming that, bro.
That'd be really cool if they did.
I
Find
want
that.
them to find it, but I'm saying I've heard since I was a little kid. They found it. No, they didn't. They found
They
it.
thought
no,
they
didn't.
found it in the 90s, but it was Philip's tomb, right? And they realized he was an ugly motherfucker with one leg shorter than the other.
And-
Retarded pirate.
But they knew that. That's how they were able
Yeah,
to.
I know. That's how they knew. They're like, hey, it's this guy.
No, then yeah,
It's
this guy
Stumpy.
had been through some shit, man.
He was missing
One
an eye. Yeah. But
That's real warriors fought back then.
I know, man. You fucking. But the one leg shorter, that was just genetics. He had a one short leg.
Yeah. I
But
guess.
no, this thing was interesting because it was talking about some of the oldest cave findings in Europe. Like it kind of tangented at one point. And I remember a few months ago, I had read about something, a discovery in like the north of Greece in two locations, like the north of Greece and the south of Bulgaria. Not Fyrom, like actual Bulgaria. And it was called, they named it Grecopithecus. I mean,
Greek monkey.
Greek monkey.
I saw that. That came out last week. Where
No, it's actually
they
cool.
think that
They're sharing it again because new information has been. They're saying this is the oldest hominid in Europe, and it's completely blowing up the concept of out of Africa.
Quite,
Yeah.
well,
This is not a Neanderthal. This is a.
for the record, a Greek monkey is producing this show, but also.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to come.
But
in.
we already got past this. That whole sub-Saharan, everyone's starts from sub-Saharan thing was disproven, I think, over 10 years
But
ago.
most people still believe that we all started in Africa.
No, there was
I'm not saying the science. I'm saying the layman.
yeah, but I'm saying the science. It was an American. What was that fucking? I gotta find it. What was that? It's one of their big universities in the States. Fuck. Not Harvard.
UCLA or Harvard or
Whatever the fuck.
like an Ivy League school.
It was an Ivy League school. Anyways, they had done it was a genealogical thing about
Cambridge?
you. Oh, it might have been Cambridge.
Wait, which one's in the U.S.?
Oxford
Cambridge
is
or
in the
Oxford?
UK.
So it's Cambridge.
Yeah. So yeah, it was probably Cambridge. Anyways, look it up. You could find
Beautiful
It's
campus,
basically
I've been
about the whole sub-Saharan thing and how then the anomaly was Greeks and some other people. I think Italians or whatever to a certain
I mean,
extent, because they
I'm not an
don't they don't
anthropologist,
match.
but it
Yeah.
doesn't really track like that. We
Yeah.
all came out of Africa. The
No.
timelines don't make
but
sense.
that's why they have that stupid theory why fucking people have these weird like religions they make up. Well, I guess they're all made up, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They where they say that Greeks are aliens because technically, if you go by that, and we didn't come from Sub-Saharan,
I mean,
they go,
I don't
then
buy
how the
into
fuck
that.
come they just appeared there and then they had all this advanced technology? Well, it wasn't advanced technology. We just did what we did at the time. We were a little
Well,
advanced.
civilization explodes once we get fire.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So
once you have fire, you can do anything.
no, but also it's like Jesus Christ. We started documenting stuff. It doesn't mean we were dropped from a fucking spaceship in Greece.
Yeah.
Anyways.
here we
What
go.
university was it?
Okay.
Cambridge.
You don't look, bro. I'll find.
He said
just,
Cambridge.
You just sit back and look pretty.
No, but my point is, I'm not an anthropologist. Like, I only understand 20% of the science when I read these articles, and I try to find the original publications because it's interesting to me.
It is
It would be
because-
kind of cool if
But like the whole
aliens dropped
Neanderthal thing, like growing up when we were kids, Neanderthals were these like fucking Brendan Fraser and Encino Man, right? Like that's what I thought a Neanderthal was with a brow like Poseidon's.
stuff.
But it turns out they were fucking super developed. So the idea that, the white Europeans, like that part of the world, stems from the Neanderthal and like an admixture of something else, that makes a lot of fucking sense because these
But
were
it's interesting. It's
hominids
interesting,
living
but
in
it's
cold
also-
climates, right? They would have been fairer skin.
Yeah, it's interesting, but it's also
The
it's also
Greeks
weird at the
really
same
do
time.
have near mythical origins.
Actually-
ancient DNA reveals. Yeah, go on.
I've spoken to the guy who wrote that, the geneticist. I'm trying to get him on Film My Hole.
Doesn't
He
want
works at Cambridge. No, he's down. He's busy. The guy. He's fucking doing his research, and now he's pivoting to like all the teams at Cambridge are working on genetic study of coronavirus, and like everyone's trying to work on
If
vaccines.
it comes out that I am wrong and we actually the aliens did drop the Greeks off here, bro, how fucking weird is that?
That'd be fucking nuts. But
strange-
that
the strange thing here is that when you're looking into the development of the Greek civilization, everyone knows that it came from the south, right? It came from Egypt, migrated to Crete. So the first signs.
well,
of
it
Greek
started in the
civilization
Cycladic
stem-
civilization.
Sorry, no, it was in Crete.
No,
and
it
then
was
from
before-
Crete it went to the Cycladic.
Actually, you're backwards. It started in like the Neolithic in the south, in like the Mani Peninsula, in the Peloponnese. Cave dwellers, whatever, they moved out into the Cycladic civilization, which has those famous white, with the large nose marble figurines. They were fine. They were doing their thing. They were developing. And then the Minoans just explode on the scene. And then they take over the Cycladic civilization and mix with it.
Labyrinth.
And then all of a sudden the Mycenaeans pop up out of nowhere. And then it's the Greek Dark Ages. We have no idea what happened for 1,000 years.
We stopped writing.
Yeah. They just stopped writing. And that's,
what
when
my
the
prediction
city-states
is?
exploded.
Aliens.
I mean, probably plague. That's my guess.
No, it was too early for the plague. The plague didn't happen.
No, I mean a plague.
Oh.
Not the plague. Or maybe it was coronavirus.
No, I don't think it was the plague.
I mean... who knows? Really, who knows? And then there was the Doric invasions. When the Dorians came down. George, who are you talking to off camera there?
No, nobody.
You have someone with a
He's talking to
teleprompter,
himself. No,
just
he
like
was talking
fucking
to
Biden.
Yeah, Biden's been saying some crazy shit, man. It's fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
he's nuts. Just to go back, what you saw, by the way, that near mythical origins,
Yeah.
it shows like a crazy fucking genetic continuity of the people of the Southern Aegean. It doesn't make sense.
It does make sense.
Like I look at my wife, who's from Rhodes, where like hard Venetian dick fell for like a couple generations. The Knights of St. John came. Everyone's like looks different than the mainland, but even on those islands, there's genetic continuity. Like it's weird.
Well, it's not weird because you keep saying things that I don't know if you just met. Because you keep saying like, so historically we know that even in recent times, and we're talking about the Ottomans, let's say, Greeks were so advert to getting raped and forced into having that they would kill themselves in order to not. I'm just saying these are the extremes they went to now in recent times where people were kind of softer, I would say. In the ancient times, where sometimes they would find another Greek from a different place as a fuck this guy. This guy's not Athenian.
Yeah.
You don't think then they would take some extreme measures?
But
like
the Knights of St. John, they were welcomed.
Yeah.
They were assimilated into the local culture. They were happy to have them.
Yeah,
for
but
a
not
long time.
everyone in Rhodes fucked the same person.
No, obviously, but there was a lot of them. Like, even if you look at the people
there was a lot of Ottomans
those
too.
islands, they look very different, very different. Like my wife, when my grandmother met my wife when we were dating, I brought her home and I said, I introduced her in Greek, and my grandmother goes, "Hi, nice to meet you, little girl," because she thought she was French Canadian. She's like, "This girl's not Greek. She's like blonde and has green eyes."
But there's a lot of blondes with green.
I mean, not where we're from. Like, everyone kind of looks like me and George.
Where are you and George from?
The Peloponnese.
Okay. I don't understand. Like,
Actually, I don't know where George is from. You are, right?
Yeah.
Your family? Yeah. Everyone just kind of looks like us. Hook
what?
nose.
But you and him don't look the same.
Don't we though? Tired
No,
eyes,
no.
low brow.
No. He looks way more Greek, that's for sure.
He does look way more Greek
Yeah.
than me, yeah.
You don't look the same.
I got like a
I
nut, I
have
need to go
fine.
for
I'm
it.
Greek 100%. I have fine features. I don't have.
I don't know. You don't. When I look at you, you don't embody what I typically think a Greek person looks
That's what I think. I think you have a you don't know what Greek people are supposed to look like, because I do, and you
What
know
are they
who else
supposed
looks.
to look
You know
like?
who else looks super Greek? Viron. Viron also looks super Greek. Viron looks.
I can see that.
Like the marble, like how the Alexander statue was
He
the
looks
same
like a
hair
coin.
and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we look like the way the way they were described in the books. They didn't describe Greeks back in the day as bald and like the way they described them with the features, the brown hair and the light eyes and all that.
People were bald.
Well,
No, no,
also don't forget that back then it was like they probably found the best looking guy. Here, come, let me make a sculpture out of you or whatever. And
You
we
know
think that all Greeks look like that,
You know that there's also like, how they say Greek nose, Roman nose? Like, I was like, why is that? Like, I looked into it a few weeks ago. Am I missing something good?
Because I sent him up.
Oh, this is, I'll look at this after.
Just so you know.
Yeah. So the Greek and Roman nose thing, the Romans were into realism. They would recreate what they saw. The Greeks were into making things look pretty. So this whole idea that perfect nose, that's symmetrical, everything, that was just the Greeks showing like the
Greeks loved
ultimate,
symmetry.
They loved symmetry and beauty. So they were like, they
Well,
take
no,
an ugly
bec-
chick and make it look good.
No, that's a. I'll tell you why that's a misconception.
You've seen
Two
the
things.
sculptures of like Aristotle and Socrates. They just look like fat, bald guys.
There
that-
you
that
go.
is from a later
no,
period.
No, but there you go. Not just that, even from the ancient period, if they wanted to embellish it, they would have given everybody huge cocks. They would have at least had them erect.
Actually,
They
big,
wouldn't
big
have had
cocks
them.
were not a symbol in society. Big foreskins were. They were
No,
really
hold on,
into
hold on.
foreskins, the ancient
Hold on.
Greeks.
And then the other thing is, you could look at people's faces, right? So we have, and a lot of people, but I'm just saying, the symmetry.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name names, bro, but you could fucking Nat Geo this shit. There's a lot of people, Mongolians, who don't have symmetry. Do you know what I'm talking about? They
The
don't have
Mongolians
that.
have perfect symmetry. It's just it's this way, the symmetry, not this way.
No, but
So racist.
do you know what I'm talking about? Like they were
names.
reproducing what they saw, what they had.
Yeah.
They didn't do it because they're like, yo, we're better than. They didn't know what other people look like.
No,
They're like,
well,
this
I mean
is what
they
I
did
look like.
know, kind of.
No, I mean people that they hadn't met with.
Oh, yeah,
So
okay.
they're like, I'm just gonna reproduce what I see. So that's what they reproduced, what they saw, and then now we get it, and you're like, oh fuck yeah, this does look like. There's some girls in Greece that look like those fucking statues, like the same fucking nose, the Greek nose, everything.
Yeah, and
I'm like, Jesus Christ, how is that possible that you kept that going for this many fucking thousands of years?
I mean,
you'd think
it's,
you'd
not,
look
it's
different.
not as clear cut as you're making it out to be.
I didn't,
Like,
but I didn't make a clear. I'm just saying there's we
no,
look.
I mean how they drew things, how they made things.
Yeah.
Like the ancient Greece.
you can only make what you know.
No, you can't.
Yeah, everything is made from the self, right? So
But
it's
you
either
can take multiple things that you know
Yeah.
and amalgamate them. That's creativity.
no, but that thing that we see still exists. Those people, the way they look, still exist. We still look like that.
In
So
some
clearly
form.
it was
It's
taken.
subjective, though. Art is
Like
subjective.
what Phil is saying, for example, how did they make the sculptures of the gods, right?
Yeah.
They had
We
never
know
seen the
they didn't
gods.
exist, right?
Yeah, but
So it
how
was a
did they
fig-
make them? They make them
imagine-
in something that they knew, right? Humanoids.
Yes, but they take all the best features from like 40 people
Yeah.
and make Zeus.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
version of Zeus, that version of a human being who looks just like that statue may exist. There's statistical possibility, but it wasn't someone that he looked at and said, "Sit there, Zeus. Hold the thing here."
Yeah,
Okay.
I know, but it came from what they knew. That's all they knew. They didn't.
Yeah,
what they knew
like a
is human
perfectly-
beings.
Yeah.
a
So they
perfect
humanized it.
bucket, a perfectly shredded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
75
I mean,
years
they
old man.
idealized
Holding a
everything.
bolt.
They never showed imperfection. The later Greek culture, like during the Byzantine period, they were much more realists because they inherited like a new concept of art through Rome.
I know, but but those statues were made at the olden times before Byzantine. They were antiquity
those statues. I'm talking about later. No,
But later,
I jumped
like
forward.
the philosopher statues were also made older. They weren't made in the Byzantine times. They were older than the Byzantine times, and they were imperfect, fat guys.
Yeah, but don't forget, this is a patriarchal society that like thought little boys' bodies were like not little boys, but young men's bodies were the ultimate pinnacle of like symmetry. Women were supposed to look like they could bear children, and that's why you see these shapes on them, curves and whatever. And the old man of ancient Athens, the philosopher old man, I mean, he ran the show. So obviously he thought he was awesome. So to making them look like fat old guys is not making them look like fat old guys.
No,
in
but I'm not
today's
saying it's
terms.
bad. I'm saying
to them
that's
that
what
was
they look like.
sexy. It was beautiful to be an old man who'd lived through wars and not be in shape. We're saying the same thing on different
I'm
sides.
just saying
yeah.
I haven't seen that documented that they thought that old men were fat old men were sexy, because I know that they that has not been documented.
George, do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm not sure I do. No.
Thank you. Because what has been documented that they appreciated calisthenics, they appreciate exercise, they appreciate the human form in
Oiled
its
up.
finest. Yeah,
At
that's
its
what
finest, yeah.
that's what the Greeks said. They're not like, well, this
And
guy's
the mind, though.
I'm
They
just,
also
and the
did,
mind,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. But
Well, body
Anyways.
and mind go hand in hand, by the way. Eh?
shut up.
I don't know what
Body
you
and
mean.
mind
Greg.
went hand in hand.
Shut
you'd
the
be
fuck up,
fucked.
Grecopithecus. Oh, man.
Poor guy, man. He can't even finish his sentence.
Fucking
all I heard was shut the fuck up.
Phil looks more Italian, huh? Hey, Mathieu Lévesque, shut the fuck up. Actually, I get Italian a lot.
Yeah,
I read
but
somewhere
Mathieu's
I
not
mean-
wrong.
I mean, but a Quebecois person thinking I look Italian makes perfect sense because most of the Italians that he would have ever encountered in his life come from the south of Italy. And I mean, they're basically Romanized Catholic Greeks genetically. They're fucking more Greek than some regions in Greece. The Calabrians, those were all ancient Greek settlements. It makes
But
sense
there's
that we would
al-
look
Yeah,
there's
the
no,
same.
a-
I don't think that makes
there's a-
sense.
There's a Greek dialect now in Sicily,
Sicily,
or
yeah.
in southern Italy.
It's really
where-
pretty, that fucking, what is it called? Greco?
Yeah, I don't know
Greco
what's called.
Calabrese or
I
something?
don't know. Marseille was a Greek settlement too. They're not going to be Greeks now. They're Algerians. Yeah, you know,
That's-
things change.
Yeah, but during the papal states, like the Greeks just stuck around. They're like, yeah, we'll be Catholic. That's cool.
Yeah, they
that's
didn't-
fine.
I don't know. I'm half Cretan, half from Epirus, so I would. I don't know. I have.
So why didn't you understand my kids last time if you're half Epirot?
who said I didn't understand?
Oh,
It? I
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Time machine.
It
Time
just-
machine.
I don't know.
I didn't know you were from the northern part.
That's why he's so white.
Yeah, that's where I get. Well, actually, no, I can't lie because I thought that's where I got my height. But actually, my grandfather from my father's side was
A tall man?
giant. Yeah. So,
I mean, so your
that's
family
what-
comes from the shadow of Mount Olympus.
but that's why I have. I think the
The blue eyes?
I think that comes from the north. I don't know, man, because my mom has green eyes. I don't know where that comes from. But actually, you know what? From my mom's side, a lot of my cousins they have lighter features too,
Do they?
but some don't. Some are.
I mean, it's fucking genetics, right?
Yeah.
It's wild how it goes. My
Yeah.
daughter has blue eyes. We don't know
but they
where they
all
came
look.
from.
Yeah, my cousins have blue eyes, and so do their kids. But they all look super, super Greek. Like my cousin Costa, he's got like features. He's built like a
stocky Greek man.
He looks like he's thin, but he's in good shape. But he looks like a Greekster. He looks Greek. Like you look at his face, you're like this guy's a Greek. Like
I mean, I have like three maybe different ideas of what Greek face is like. I can't define it, but I look at him, like, look at that fucking Greek face. I can tell.
Yeah.
But I don't know. George looks pretty Greek to me.
George
Poseidon
looks Greek.
doesn't.
No, but Poseidon, I'm convinced he's gonna find out in a couple of years. Not like Illyrian, not Slavic, Illyrian. I think there's some kind of either
like Arvanites.
Yeah, like Albanian
they're
or something
a big
like that.
part of our population.
Yeah. I think if he would do a test, it would be something like that because he has their features.
I wouldn't be surprised if I have that line too, especially
Illyrian.
from the south.
From where you are,
yeah, like there was a lot of Greek Orthodox Arvanites.
But the Illyrians are
they're cool.
Are old too. They were around, so you're gonna have some mix for that. And I know a lot of people who have those features of him, and then I find out that they're from like they have family that lives in Albania, and I'm like, oh, okay, that in my head it starts making sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think.
Illyrian is the northern part I'm looking at right now. Like,
oh my God, he's gonna.
What are you looking at?
What are you looking at?
Illyria hasn't existed.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
I just typed in Illyrians, like where they come from geographically.
Yeah, but we're talking about genetically because we know where they come from.
The Ionian coast, like northern Ionian coast, like what's today Albania, part of Croatia, part of Epirus.
Yeah.
Technically, that used to be Greece too. So
I mean, no. It was
if you go by that logic, then Indians are Greeks too because Alexander went all the way there. That's absurd. We don't claim Afghanistan, you dummy.
Like, we're not dumb. We're not Southern Slavs to just start claiming things.
Where are you from? New Delhi? Greek.
Yeah, I'm not busting balls. But you know, there is a village in India.
There's a lot of them.
Yo, did I start a fucking fight down here? What's going on?
That they speak Greek and they look like Greeks, eh?
In India.
In India, there's a pocket. They never spoke Greek though. There's like a pocket of blonde Indians.
Well,
there's some theories that maybe they're remnants of his army that stayed
well,
behind.
they believe they're remnants of Alexander the Great, like ancestors. They themselves believe it.
I don't know. I mean, it's so far back to even think that the genes could make it there. I don't know.
And Alberto, they appreciated little boys. Let me tell you.
We live a life. You know what? Because I don't know how much people actually care about this very random conversation. Ask us some questions if you want in the chat. Let's go to the chat. We haven't done it today at all.
Yeah, well, we're not. I'm just giving you what I learned. I don't know more than what I learned in school, like in history.
Yeah, no. I just mean I don't know if people care. Like we've gone down a Greek face rabbit hole. Like,
Greek face.
It's been like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But now I'm actually curious to do one of those tests.
I am too, but
I hope
my DNA.
This is what I hope. I hope they send Poseidon because they send you a kit and you have to swab. It's a Q-tip basically. Or you spit in a tube, depending on what you get. I hope he waits he waits a month and a half. His results come in. It's a thin envelope. He cuts it. He opens it up, and then just in big letters just says "gay."
That was so obvious.
I was waiting for it. I'm like, where's this going? Where's this going? Daddy.
And he's like, damn you, 21 in me or whatever the fuck, 21 in you.
But I wonder how they track it. I mean, is there a database?
It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. What they're doing is they're looking at where certain haplogroups of DNA. Is that the right term?
Yeah. You know why it's fucked? Yeah, you know why it's fucked up? And by the way, it changes over time.
Doesn't fucking help.
It changes over time because they'll send you updates. Because you know what Phil said is true. Because the way they do it is not they have a base and they're like, oh, if your genetic code matches with this, that's not what they do. What they do is, let's say 100 people.
Where it clusters.
Yeah, 100 people from Montreal send in their DNA, and
you're an ancient Montrealer.
Exactly, which doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Because the second they assume and be like, well, this trait was also found. Yeah, of course, because people move.
I mean, there is a bit of it gives you an idea of like geographic like movement.
Where people went, yeah.
But like I know I'm from the south of Greece. My family, my mom's side has been in the same fucking village until they came to Montreal for like 20 generations, right?
So my cousin had done it 2 years.
I remember, yeah.
But my cousin I was talking about, Costa, actually, who looks like a super Greekster, and it shows like a map, like it pins on the world where it is, and it has little spots depending on where you're from. His is, it just shows Greece right there, right in the middle. It's just hot, like it's like you fucking dummy. Like, did you have to send this in?
You're still there.
Yeah, how do you not know where?
He's the only one in that village or in that whole area.
No, he lives here. He lives in Alberta.
Oh, he's in Alberta.
Yeah, but his
here,
he sent, but he did the DNA test. He's like, I'm wondering, maybe there's Swedish, maybe there's something. It's like, nah, motherfuckers.
But what I was gonna say, that's pretty funny actually. I know what it's gonna give me. It's gonna give me Greece. It's gonna give me the south of Italy.
Yeah.
It's gonna give me Balkans because I know that on my mom's side they were what's the word in English? Constantinopolitan Greeks. from Constantinople.
Oh,
Like
okay,
they were a
Greeks.
family from Constantinople that fled to the south.
Lights.
Constantinopolites. They're Phanariots. That's what they were called.
Oh, you know what I want to get? I hope I do a DNA test and I get Japanese.
You might get some Asian if there's any kind of Turkish mix because they pulled stuff from.
I don't have any kind of Turkish.
You
mix.
don't know.
I do. I'm giving you facts on my latest.
What side of your family?
My mom.
So what about on your dad's side? Crete
have
was
no
a
idea.
crossroads for thousands of years. Who knows who came through? Maybe a hot
Yeah.
little Hanumisa?
Yeah.
You don't know.
No, it would be Italian.
Great grandfather
Yeah,
Pantelis
because of
was
my
like,
name.
oh, I don't
yeah,
know.
I think it would be Italian. But then if I do the test and it says that I'm fucking a Greekster, then that means that the Italians that came over, they were already Greeks.
That's what it
We're
means.
just fucking each other all the time.
Like El Greco.
Yeah.
He went to Spain, but
I
he
wanted to
still
get
had Greco.
Japanese.
I look like El Greco, actually. Have you ever seen his self-portrait? Pull it up.
I hope.
Sorry.
I hope that when he pulls it up, it's a black guy.
Hold on. What do you want me to
And
pull up?
Forget it.
Feels
I
like
got
and
it.
feels like,
Let me
look,
do
bro,
it.
I look just like him.
But I'm literally.
Just write
El Greco.
El Greco and write self-portrait. I noticed it when I was in at the Louvre. I saw
I
his
think
painting.
this
I'm like,
would
who's
only
this
be
guy?
funny if it looks nothing like you.
It looks like an older version of me. That's what I'm gonna look like when I'm
Oh,
old.
that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bald guy with a beard.
Yeah.
Fuck, he looks.
Eh,
But you
But
don't.
even if you
he
make
looks
him more
nah.
bald, could look
Oh,
like me.
young.
Yeah.
Some,
Wait,
he
wait.
looks like a more depressed version of you.
Yeah.
I mean, he seemed like he was going through some stuff.
Older, he looks too withery. You're more tough, like looking.
I
than
can't
that.
wait till I turn 40 and I start growing my ponytail out. I'm so excited.
Are you gonna do that?
A
Yeah,
real
man.
ponytail.
Yeah, I'm gonna grow it like Savopoulos, George. You
That's
know
like,
what I'm
that's
talking
like
about.
a '90s criminal.
Yeah, amazing, right? Like
We're
a
gonna
fucking-
get you a
I
pager.
want to be like a rock and roll partisan from the Greek 70s. You know,
At
just
what
like,
point should you give up?
hey. What do you mean on life?
No, I mean like when there's not enough hair on top.
Today on the morning
Like,
show, we
delete-
talk suicide.
No, because you know, like Hulk Hogan,
Yeah,
he had nothing for
should have given
years,
up.
and
He
he
should have
has his
given up.
bandana. He should have given up a long time
he
ago.
should have. Like George, let me see what's going on there.
George, you know what you should do? Apparently,
You're thin up there, man.
you should go to Constantinople because apparently in Turkey they have like these people. You have to pay some
They
money.
spray paint it on.
No. It's surgery.
Microblading.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
they're gonna give you brand new hair
Where is this?
in Turkey.
Oh, okay.
They're
Seems
they're
like a
world,
good idea.
They're world leaders in this. People go there all the time.
Really?
apparently. Yeah.
I've seen a procedure. It's with a needle.
It looks
basically-
painful.
They prick your.
Follicle.
They revitalize your roots, basically.
I think
needle.
what they do in Turkey is they take hair from like the back of your neck.
No,
and they put
Turkey's
it on
good
top.
at this because they take hair from the back. They have lots to work with, and they just put it on the top. Tirkik.
Yeah, it's actually like they're the best at it in the world.
I've heard that before, but it just looks so fucking painful when I could just shave my head and be done with it.
But the future, dudes, the future is gonna be wild and crazy because of stem cells. When
Yeah.
it becomes more common, when people are doing stem cell like regeneration stuff, dude, broken arms, bones. Who was it that started growing something back recently? Yeah, so fuck. I gotta.
What?
I was watching. Yeah, someone. Who the fuck? What did he grow back?
It was like an organ.
No,
Like
I
a
think it was the
finger?
bit of his finger, like it had got cut off or something. And but he has to go do it in South America because the states have like weird. I don't mean they're bad, but they have laws with stem cell
Yeah.
research and what you.
Unless
can
you're
do.
the president, then you can use it, no problem.
Regeneron is stem cells.
I mean, yeah, it comes from
Holy
stems. Yeah,
shit, bro, it's badass.
Yeah, it is
No
badass.
wonder Trump was okay, bro.
He's actually unaging. He's getting younger.
Dude, Regeneron, that's some shit. But yeah, stem cells are it's fucking crazy. The problem is getting stem cells, right? Because they'll get it from like the umbilical cord and that fluid,
Yeah.
you know? So then
I
what
did, I did it for both my daughters when they were born.
you kept it?
Yeah, we did the procedure.
Yeah, we did too. We did.
Dude, that
we
might
did it
help her
also.
in the future. Something might happen to her and they could fucking help because of that.
I mean, the good news is we have two. So if one of us needs one, I mean, we can risk it.
No, but I'm saying it's actually very, very cool.
Yeah,
because,
harvest
Harvest,
the
yeah.
stem cells in the umbilical blood.
But there's always been this question about since the early 2000s. I remember during the George Bush era when they wanted to just stop it completely because they go, "Are we playing God?" Because basically they could recreate life in a petri dish.
Yeah.
And they go, "Whoa, are we? Is this? Did we go too far? Like, is
Probably, but fuck it. Who cares? Let's do it.
Yeah.
I mean, the robots are gonna fuck us anyways. Let's have as many people to fight back as we can. Let's start making fucking people.
Oh, you mean the clones thing? That's actually. You guys ever? I know it's not a topic for a morning show. It might be too hardcore. But have you guys thought about that legitimately, not joking wise? Cloning. How do you feel about that? Because
I don't like it.
because what they were talking about, you remember the argument in the early 2000s with the
George.
stem cells, George, was
Showing
if
his
you
muscles.
could clone your exact duplicate, right? Which means that it's your perfect genetic match. Would you be willing, and have they cloned actual duplicate human beings just to harvest them for their organs? Is that ethical? And then there was a debate about that.
Are
There was
they
a
aware, or are they just like lifeless?
It's girls like you. They're as aware as you without your knowledge, basically.
That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. So but they go, oh no, if they always lived in that, then they wouldn't know. And it's like, I still think that's crazy because that you're harvesting, you're
they've
farming
always
human
lived in
beings.
that they wouldn't know. I mean, that's like fucking. That's not reality. Just because they don't know, that's fucking.
But that's
back
what I'm
to
saying.
ancient Greece.
It's
That's
far-
allegory
it's
of the
farm.
cave, right?
It's farm stuff. It's like
I
you're
guess.
farming human beings.
I mean, our organs. If you can grow just an organ, that's a genetic match. I mean, I have no issue with that.
Well, what they're saying is you get the best organs by growing. You
I
as
understand
a person.
that, but like, can't we do it without a brain? And
I don't
just
know,
Keep it on
dude.
life support, because then it's fine. If there's no brain, who cares?
Well, no, because the way you grow, right? You can't put a little machine in there. The way you
Maybe
know.
they could. I'm saying if
Oh,
they could,
yeah.
then yeah, there's no brain. There's no human.
But
being
what I'm
in there.
saying is, do you think it's ethical to grow a clone of yourself
No,
to
it's-
harvest it
I
for?
don't think that it's ethical.
George, how do you feel?
But what if it's a clone of yourself? You take it.
That's what we just said. You fucking idiot.
Come on, dude. Are you doing it on purpose?
He's not doing it on purpose. He's trying to pretend now he did it on purpose to be like,
Come on, man.
can't be this much of a dick.
But hold on.
Oh man,
I stand up for you. You know that, eh? I come to your defense.
Poseidon,
Don't do me
just
dirty like
rewatch this
that.
episode.
I
man.
did a
Just
bit of a
rewatch
mishap.
this episode.
Okay.
I did a bit of a
So,
mishap.
so George, you think it's unethical?
I think it's unethical. Although I'm
Okay,
very
let me
open
drop a
to this.
question. Let me drop a
Drop a
question to
question.
you, George. And now I want you to think about it. George, you have a podcast called Just Us Dads. You're a daddy, okay? Your daughter needs a life-changing surgery, a life-saving, rather, surgery. The only way to do it right now is this lab that will grow a clone of your daughter, and then you'll harvest the organ from that one to save her.
Yeah. Look, it's a
George is
fine
like, well,
line. I mean,
fuck
look,
you.
what I was gonna say is that I'm not so sure it's ethical, but I am in favor of the technology, like Phil said, to kind of reproduce. Now, if I mean, we're jumping into hypotheticals over here, right? The only way to do it is to clone an entire human in order to take that organ. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, some people have kids.
Obviously, if
They
it comes
have.
to your kids, man, you're gonna do whatever you want. You have to, right?
Whatever you,
You know
want.
what's fucked up? Families who have a child, like let's say they have two kids and the youngest of the two has some kind of terrible. I mean, I don't want to put a name on this hypothetical situation of the disease, but like I don't know, something terrible.
Yeah.
So they end up saying, okay, the second kid is like a bone marrow match. Let's fucking check it out. The kid's not a match. Turns out they're like, let's have another kid. And then they have a kid basically to harvest marrow to save the first one.
But it's
I
been
mean,
done.
It's been done all the time. It happens all the time. Effectively, that third child is there just to keep the first one alive. Now, is it ethical? I don't know.
Wait, so what happens to the second kid?
The second
Nothing.
kid's fine. The second kid is like the kid who's like just living his life. The first kid is very, very ill. And the third kid is constantly being harvested for either blood or marrow his whole life just to keep the oldest alive. I mean, these things happen in the States, especially in
Their
the
whole
States.
life. So I mean, the kid never
Basically,
lives.
Pantelis, basically it means this: you have two kids, one
A
of them
living
is sick,
donor.
like Phil says, and you need like some sort of bone marrow transplant. You try, your wife tries, your other kid tries, and
The
there's
whole
no
family
match.
gets
and you
involved.
decide, let's have another kid.
Yeah.
Maybe that kid's marrow
Okay,
will match.
but
and
but
it's
when you
done.
give the bone marrow, you have to keep giving it.
No, I mean, bone marrow is one example, but some things are blood diseases where the kid will need transfusions for the rest of his life. So, like, one kid is effectively a blood bank for the other.
This makes me sad.
And these things, these treatments, they're not quick, like one time. It's like over the course of many years. And the kid who's donating is very young. Like, this is a young child's life. So, is it ethical? I don't know. Is it a scary idea? Fucking terrifying.
I mean, if you did it,
But wouldn't
I
you
don't
do
know.
everything you could to protect your first kid?
Yeah, but what about that third kid?
What about the third kid, right?
Yeah,
It's fucked up.
that's
It's,
very sad.
I wouldn't ever want to be in a situation
But
like
these
that.
kids,
Like,
do any of them like go to bed on time and make their bed? Like, are they good kids?
I haven't... What?
I need to know details about this scenario.
The older one or the younger one?
That's what I'm asking. Is
The
which
middle
one?
kid doesn't give a fuck. He's smoking crack in the
Then
back
I'm
alley.
harvesting that kid.
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna go to that.
Of course he did.
Come here, young crack harvest. Yo, speaking of crack,
Sorry,
this buy it.
can I do an ad?
I think I'm gonna do a video. Yeah.
Anyone looking to buy a GoPro Hero 4 with a bunch of accessories, let me know.
You have a GoPro Hero 4 that you're trying to sell?
No, someone is. $500. Just Gigi.
Oh.
Gigi, he's in the chat too. You can ask him. $500. There's pictures. He'll send you. Hit him up.
Hero 4.
GoPro Hero 4 for Gigi.
How old is Hero 4? What do I have? What's that one?
I have a 3.
Oh.
You have like a 19. I think the 7 is out now, or the 8.
8. 8 is
Hero
out.
4
I
was
have a
like the
7.
perfect GoPro. It didn't do too much, didn't do too little. It was a good little action cam. Where we at? What are we talking
were
about? We
at,
were sad
Joe
shit.
Biden doing crack.
Oh, Joe Biden's doing crack with Hunter.
No, Joe Biden's not doing crack, but Hunter. So is the debate going to happen tonight, George?
I'm not sure. That's what I'm trying to read up here on Twitter. I think it is.
Because if it is, me and Poseidon got to get in the studio.
I had read something about the debate commission or whatever it's
It's
called.
tomorrow,
That they decided that
Wednesday.
they're going to mute the microphones.
So they're
So,
actually doing
Yeah,
it?
that's so they don't cut each other off, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that's what they were thinking or if that's what's happening because the debate is actually going down. So I don't know.
Poseidon, you have any info on this? Is the debate actually happening?
Poseidon, check it out, man.
I'd hear you. It's, I don't know. Because if it happens, then we got to do a live stream, right, Poseidon? This is going to be the final time they face off, right?
Oh shit! CNN says presidential debate commission to mute candidates during the debates.
Tonight.
Yeah, that's what we just said. But
You're not
they
helping
say
us. You
did
literally
they
just repeated what he said and didn't answer the question that I asked you.
we don't. Well, the question here is we don't know if they decided that in case there would be a debate or if
is
there's
there
actually
officially a debate?
Yeah, they haven't actually said yet, from what I can find here. Unless I'm gonna take a look.
I'm going to take a look,
I'm
bro.
gonna take a look, bro.
Take a look. Let me know.
Sorry, I forgot. I don't know why I whistled.
Is that a whale sound?
That was crazy.
It was really weird, right? I think both mics caught it. Let's see. Yeah, there was echoing between the mics.
All right.
I had a song stuck in my head. I started whistling. I'm like, stop. You're on a fucking show. What are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it says
Yeah.
the final debate between Trump and Biden is set for Thursday, October 22nd at Belmont University in Nashville.
Oh, there you go. So it's
Tennessee.
tomorrow.
When is it? Wednesday? Today?
Tomorrow.
No, tomorrow, 22nd.
Thursday. Okay. Oh, shit. All right. Nice.
Candidate.
Wow.
That's so funny that their microphones will be muted.
I think that's a bad idea.
I think it's gonna be
a bad
confusing.
idea. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a bad idea because
it's a bad idea. I think. I look.
you could just
I-
delay your answer, wait till you get muted, and be like, I was going to answer, but they muted me.
Well, look. I think that they're going to lose the control so badly
Oh, yeah.
to the point where they won't know what to mute, when to mute, how long to mute it.
You know
for.
what I would love to happen if Trump is saying something? No, he's saying something, they mute him, he's like, mother, and he just walks over and grabs Biden's mic. Let me fucking continue.
I don't know.
You sons of bitches.
I wasn't finished.
I wasn't finished. He sounds like Sean Connery.
Yeah,
I
I can't do a
wasn't
Trump
finished.
at all.
I wasn't finished.
I mean,
I got the best speech.
you're much.
A better speech than anyone else. Everybody knows it. It's the best speech.
It's going to be huge.
It's gonna be
I
huge.
can do this better.
And then you have Biden. He's
What
like,
was that?
This is the
The
oh that
fucking
dance.
dance.
You saw the
That's
retard dance.
that's a 74-year-old man dancing, bro.
I
gonna
mean,
be-
that is. I don't know what. I think he was fucking trolling.
Trump is gonna brag about having the best speech. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the best one ever written. I don't know. That's what they're saying. I'm not saying it. The news is saying it. People are saying it's the best speech ever written.
You actually do it
Sick.
very well.
And then
not
you,
bad, actually.
but then you're gonna have Biden. He's gonna be like, "This isn't Wendy's."
I hate the way he laughs, this man.
Oh, the fake laugh, like-
That fake white man laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
Waspy laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Country club laugh. Country club
Yeah.
laugh. Yeah.
With that smile, that smirk. I want to fucking.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I
Oh
mean,
my God.
it's not bad. You're Trump. It's still not as good as.
I just
your
don't like what he
African
does. Like, I'm
accent,
so
though.
mad at Biden. Like what he does. So it's like, what does that mean?
That's
bro?
not what I.
Like,
That's
I'm
not
so-
what. That's not what I did.
Oh, I'm so angry. I'll suck his dick. Like he's
I don't even know where we're at.
like, wow, that is a next level anger.
Oh,
He's so
Can
mad
you
at
pull up
Biden. He
that
wants
clip from
Biden to
Twitter?
question sexuality at 70.
I need you to pull up that clip that he shared on Twitter yesterday.
Which one? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Falls
though.
in line with what Poseidon just did. So angry he'd suck his dick.
No, I didn't do that.
No, I did not do that.
I did not.
No, I did not.
No. Oh, you want him to show the people the clip?
I think so.
Okay. I gotta go help him. He doesn't know how to.
Oh, okay. Forget it. Forget it. I mean, go to Pantelis' Twitter. That's at Big P4H, and you can see a man get assaulted.
Yeah,
in
there
a
was-
very strange manner.
Basically,
I
you
saw
saw
that.
that one. It was
That was
basically
so
from what
disturbing,
what
man.
I understand and what I've made up. He was a homeless man. He was a homeless man, just being homeless. And then they were trying to tackle the homeless issue, and they basically beat him up. These leftists. Yeah.
They did much more than beat him up.
Well, they also fingered his asshole. But look, the left doesn't play by the same rules, bro. They called him a fascist.
No holds bar.
Yeah, there was no holes barred in this.
You-
But
you know how-
disturbing was that, man? I was watching. I'm like, why are they beating this poor guy? And then when I saw what's, I'm like, what is he doing?
Maybe he was a Nazi, and they're like, yeah, you like Iron Fist? How about this?
He wasn't a Nazi. He was a guy that had no home.
Yeah,
For
he was a
big.
homeless Nazi.
He was one of them. Homeless.
I don't know. I mean,
It's disgusting.
I would never.
What
Why?
would you even think about
Why? Like-
putting your hand in someone else's ass, man?
And the guy was
Why
so
not?
proud of himself. He's like, ha, ho, ho, hey, hey.
I can't find it anymore.
That's fine.
It's on my feed, bro.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Can I throw? Oops. Sorry, guys.
I'm
Can I throw
scrolling,
this
I
at
can't
him?
You don't have. You
Can I
literally
fucking
don't have
throw
to scroll
this at
that much. It's like one of the latest things I put.
You know what it is with Poseidon?
He's an
After,
asshole.
after all these years now.
He may be dumb.
No, I'm not even angry. I'm so disappointed. Because there's a
Disappointed in
part of me.
what?
Bro, look, I can't
Oh,
find it.
he's already
I'm
looking
already
at it.
on my feed, bro. I can't find it, bro. I don't know
Let's
where
see
the
how
fuck
fast
it
I
is.
can find it.
Yeah.
I haven't even opened Twitter yet, guys. I gave him
What
a
the
head
fuck?
start.
But it's literally not.
Okay, what happens if I come over there and find it?
Hold on.
Maybe
Let me
you're gonna
just
get
double
so
check.
mad
Let
he'll
me
blow
just
you.
double check.
Yeah.
Yeah, double check.
Hold on.
If I go to my Twitter,
I've
feed
left,
on
by the way,
computer-
guys. I'm not on Twitter now. I'm just looking at other stuff. But I'm going back right now to find it. Here we go.
Ah, yes. Okay, I found it.
There it is.
But no, but you know why?
Bro,
Hold on.
I don't care
Hold on.
why. Here's what's
Hold
gonna
on,
happen. I'm gonna take y'all back and beat you mercilessly.
And then blow you.
and then finger you in the ass.
Yeah.
I mean, this all got real sexy this morning show.
God damn this guy. Anyways, you didn't need to find it because you don't know how to show it to the people.
Yes, I do. I think I
Okay.
do.
Oh.
Oh.
Put on some promo music while you're doing it, just to like set the mood. You can't do too.
You want me to just show up there and just do it for you?
Hold on. Let me try. Keep talking.
No,
I have it on the morning.
Let's do
news.
promos while you do this. No, we're not gonna do promos now.
No.
It's just disgusting.
GoPro sold, by the way, guys.
Should
Too
I?
slow.
Because you're wasting time, bro. Should I just come there and do it for you?
Hold on.
Fuck this.
I think I got it.
Just move, bro.
Lady in red.
I got it.
No, Dan, what are
Lady
you doing,
in
man?
red.
Fucking dummy, bro.
George, sing a duet with me.
No, Dan, look at what he's fucking up my whole thing.
Hold
that I
me
created.
closer, Tony Danza.
Put it small.
He's so angry. I wish you could see him. Oh shit, here we go.
No se pegue, ¿por qué se pega?
¿Por qué?
Es que no se pegue, ¿por qué se pega?
I love how she's asking, why are you doing
Es
that?
que no se pegue, ¿por qué se pega? Es que no se pegue, ¿por
guy's
qué se
useless.
pega?
Look, punch. Screw you,
Es que no
Nazi.
se
Screw.
pegue,
Ah!
¿por qué se pega?
Anybody in the chat
And I
speak
like how he's
Spanish?
smiling.
Or is that
Es que no se
Portuguese?
pegue, ¿por qué se pega?
Yeah, what is he
Get
saying?
rid of
What is she saying? Somebody tell me.
Es que no se pegue, ¿por qué se pega?
¿Por qué se pegue? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. What is she
Back.
saying, guys?
Yeah.
George,
Yeah.
how do you feel about that?
I love that it was an asshole with a finger in it, and then it just cut to George's face on this monitor.
George, how do you feel about that?
Look, I don't know. I don't know what possesses a man to, in the middle of a fight, drop the other guy's pants and figure him in the ass. I mean, it's like, have you seen those?
Thank you for
those
clearing
prank
that up,
videos?
George.
Have you seen those prank videos where the guy goes up to these other guys and like, yeah, what's up, and then like, yeah, you want to fight. So when the guy gets ready, he just drops his pants and he's wearing
yeah.
a thong.
Yeah.
I've seen those.
Yeah. But you know what? Those prank videos, a lot of them are fake.
Yeah.
But some of the ones that I hope they're real, I hope they get a beating to learn their lesson. Because some of them is, remember how the teacher now, she's getting stuff written about her for dropping N-bombs? But she wasn't really. Remember those videos was like, dropping N-bombs in the hood. You ever seen those?
Yeah.
It's just a prank, bro. And
The
the,
guy
guy's
with the fucking billboard, it just says the N-word. He's walking around with it. He's like, bro, what are you doing?
I don't remember that one, but I remember the guy just calling, just dropping N-bombs, and then he gets a beating.
Or like that other one,
He's getting pistol whipped. He's like, it's just a prank, bro.
the other one where the guy's running and then a bunch of white guys get out of a truck and they fucking shoot him. That was a good prank video.
What?
What?
That wasn't a prank video.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Never mind.
I don't know.
That was a fucking. Never mind. Bad joke. That was so flat. I dropped the Poseidon level.
You
fail.
leave him to me. You leave him to me. Just like how we leave the news to the bearded
Look at
bald
those
man over there.
fucking. Wait, I'm the bearded bald man.
Well, both of you.
He has no beard and he's not bald.
He has a beard. What are you talking about? Look at him. He's got a
That's
fucking.
not a beard.
He's got a fucking 9 o'clock shadow. Look at that.
It's like a.
Why don't you grow your beard out again?
I don't remember you with a beard.
I never grow a beard. Basically, what happens is that I'm too lazy to shave.
Let me tell the people what George does, because he told me, he confessed this to me once. He goes, bro, when I'm too lazy to shave, I just shave here and here and a little bit here, so it looks like I'm trying to grow a beard.
Exactly.
Genius.
That's fine.
Genius. I mean, I do it too sometimes.
Just grow
Since
it
you
out.
told me I do it too.
Yeah, right?
Just the top side, though. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I went to get my beard trimmed yesterday because it was getting too
Shaggery.
too
Shaggery.
crazy. It was too much.
Yeah, it was very aggressive, your beard.
Yeah, it made me look angry all the time.
I mean, even when you do this is like specific, like arch villain
Yes.
angry. The other one is like homeless angry. Like, I might fucking kill you or fuck you.
I will find you. I will murder you.
Do this while you do it.
You won't get away with it, Mr. Bond.
Where
not.
are your papers?
Let me tell you my plan before I kill you. So in case you escape, you kill me.
Classic. Guys, I have another call in 10 minutes, so I'm
Yeah.
going to say goodbye to
All
everyone
right, get the
now,
hell
just
out
so
of
I
here.
can set up.
Yo, let's do the promos.
Homo praise. No homos.
Oh, yeah. Oh, swinging to the oldies. So, guys, the gentleman that you see calling in all the way from Brassard, George Strizos, has got a podcast. It's the Backstage Podcast, where he grabs politicians and he interviews them backstage. All right? Check it out wherever podcasts are sold, wherever you get your podcasts. His podcast, the Backstage Podcast, on there. Also, links are already in the description. I made it easy for you guys. Just go in the description, click on those links. George also has another podcast called Just Us Dads, where he gets he gets along with other dads. They talk about the possibility of cloning their children to harvest the clone for body parts. It's very interesting stuff. Cutting edge, avant-garde, if you will. Bleeding edge technology type of talk.
Heyo.
Head over to wherever you get your fucking podcasts. They're everywhere. They're on YouTube. They're on Spotify. Just Us That is the podcast. This Friday, Halloween Spook Fest continues. Forget what you heard. Forget what you heard. You have not experienced a classic horror film until you watched it with Poseidon and myself. And sometimes special guests, like last week during the Freddy, we had Spiro. It's a fun guest. We also had his dog in the studio. It was a little dog. He was dogging around. It was a good time. Yeah. What's the matter?
You didn't hear that?
No.
The drilling is there.
Oh, we're going to get into it in a second.
Spiro, get on this.
Yeah. So that's happening on Friday. You have to sign up for the Patreon. It's only on the Patreon Discord that you can watch this movie with us every Friday, Halloween Spook Fest, for the rest of the month. We got the big Halloween Spectacular happening the week after because it's going to be the last Friday of the month. 2 Drink Minimum is live every Monday night at 8 p.m. on our YouTube channel. Then it goes private, and you get all the episodes on Wednesday, like today. If you go to YouTube at noon today, and if you go to wherever you get your podcast, you're going to find a new episode of 2 Drink Minimum out right now in a couple of minutes at noon for you guys. That's what we do. Patreon.com/Pantelis, the Poseidon69 on Twitter and Instagram for Poseidon. George, follow him. We have his description stuff in our description. And fucking Phil, you know where to get Phil.
Yeah.
Look at the logo once this is done. Click on him, go to the Balabanos webpage.
The bald guy.
He makes videos, podcasts. Thank you for watching. Thank you.